Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is BMT. Just coming at you again. Pretty much just to do another one. I definitely understand that the big day is coming around for some of us. Other people are a little bit nervous and acquiescent towards you know dealing with people. Um, and there's good reason. I Some people are going to rush into a relationship um, purely off the gusto that, hey, that if I get with somebody, I won't look like a lame or a loser, while other people are going to be like, um you know what, this is not holiday for me. Now everybody's saying every day should be Valentine's Day. Yeah, I get it. I wouldn't say that. I definitely wouldn't say every day would be Valentine's Day, because that's it's crazy. I just would never say that. It sounds suicidal to me. Um, I mean, I can love someone every day, but I guess that's the day is more so of acknowledging, the love. That's all it is. It's just an acknowledgement day of, hey, like, for younger people, or betrothed love, like, hey, like, you know, um, I got this for you. Yeah, I was thinking about you. But also on the dubious side, we also hear how people who are, you know, getting in these relationships are also purposely putting themselves in toxic, volatile relationships. And that's never good. That's never good. Some people want to be loved so badly that they'll do whatever it takes to be loved, even if it means, putting themselves, or someone that they care about, or maybe their own being, just to say, hey, at least I got somebody. And I have seen that. That is something I have seen. Whereas two people will stick it out with other people just to say that, hey, like, at least I'm not alone, or at least I'm not failing. Look what I got. I see this more than anything. Yeah, they're actually the same guy. They're actually the same guy. That's crazy. I know. That's Shirt Gray. Um the guy who plays Hakeem in Empire. That's him. And the story was brought to me on my palette. Uh, Looking at this guy. This is a guy with money, a lot of shit going for him. He just just, I mean, he's a very talented actor. He's very talented. It's just, there's no denying that. But also in the same sense that the man has a lot of demons. The man has a lot of demons. And we're finding that some people will stick it out with other people regardless of how jacked up they may be. This is very interesting because, and I mean, it goes both ways for men and for women. It really does. Share the video. You know what I'm saying? I don't, like I said, I'm not, like, I sat down and I'm listening to a lot of people, and a lot of people will likely stay in a relationship regardless of how bad the abuse is. That I mean, don't get me wrong. I've been in an abusive relationship with a woman. Yeah, yeah, the woman can be the abuser. I don't want y'all to think, well, that means you must have been weak. To no, if anybody that's speaking down on you, talking about you, and you're just sitting there and you're like, oh, whatever, and you're just like shrugging it off, that's abuse. That's abuse. Men stay into those type of relationships far more than they need. I don't know. And it's probably something like we want to prove that, hey, she didn't beat us, or some kind of stupid stuff. But other than that, you technically you are beating yourself. You are beating yourself because you're knowingly choosing to stay in a relationship, even though it's volatile, even though it's dangerous. And like I have two stories I'm supposed to be showing y'all. I have two stories of two people, but I wanted to get this off my chest before I go into these stories of people, regardless of the race or who they are, they will stay stick it out with people, regardless of their safety, whether it be mental or physical or whatever. They will stick it out with people. I do not encourage that. Like, listen, man, it's not worth it. It's not worth your health. It's not worth your peace. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no shame in just saying that, hey, um, like the relationship is just not fortuitous. You may laugh at it at first, or you may say, well, the sex is good, or the money's good, or you know what I'm saying, the hype of being able to say, well, I got this person, so it what's the big deal? But honestly, is it really worth it? You know what I'm saying? I don't even care if y'all saying, well, we got kids. So no, and I've been there. Listen, I've been there where I told myself, well, because we have kids, we should just stick it out and all this. No, no, stop. We need to stop this nonsense of literally trying to force or implode ourselves into situations that literally are getting people hurt, killed, sued, damaged, mentally destroyed. Like, yo, man, it's just not worth it, man. Like, I don't care how much y'all talk about sex or submission or any other thing, but if y'all are literally in a line of abuse or anything like that, listen, all that stuff don't mean nothing. It really don't. It really don't. And the cards can be flipped either way. We're definitely seeing that. To whereas to there's a lot of men sticking in a relationship just like the women. They're sticking in these relationships that are very volatile, very dangerous, and they're like, well, so long as I got somebody, I win. But did you really win? I think that's the thing that really about it. So I gotta definitely pull this up as two stories I'm going to be showing. I'm going to be showing of people that are in relationships, but literally, it's just very bad. It's just very bad stuff. I kind of felt bad for one of them, but literally, I'm going to showcase two relationships of things that literally, and I want to pinpoint it's not a black thing. I wanted to pinpoint it's not a black thing. Like toxic relationship is a toxic relationship. We have this type of mindset that hey, that if you are with somebody who's non-black, you know what I'm saying, that guess what? That the abuse will stop. Who keeps who's telling y'all that? Who tells y'all that stupid stuff like if I get with somebody who's not my race or not from my proportion of finances or or wherever I whatever, the abuse will stop. That's not true. That's not. That's a very dirty, disgusting lie. Y'all gotta be very mindful of the people who tell y'all that. I would say that I'm just being honest. Be very mindful of people who say stuff like that, because literally, you gotta ask what is it that they're luring you into to want to step into that type of situation. I'm just being for real. I'm being so dead ass for real. Like people who will tell you something like that, you have to ask yourself really, what are you trying to sell me? You know what I'm saying? But family will sell you down the road. They will. Family, friends, ooh, girl, ooh, man, oh, girl, get with that type of guy. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna level you up. That dude stomping you down like a mud pie every night. You have your homeboys tell you, man, you get with doggone um Tina. Tina is hell and high waters. and you're still trying to doggone put on a brave face. No, no, stop. I see this all the time, especially people doing back breaking stuff to keep a relationship. Why, man? Listen, bro. Listen, I'm all for a relationship, but I'm not for doggone toxic. And trust and believe, I was addicted to getting into toxic relationships. Yes, BMT was addicted to being in toxic relationships. I sure enough was. I sure enough was. I, I at the time when I was young and dumb, I liked it. I liked it a lot. All right, so here we go. So we have it right here. A bizarre and inconsistent story. Inside the arrest of Empire Star, officers arrested Bryce Shear July for assaulting his wife on camera. Police interview showed his bizarre story. Now, literally, and I kid you not, like this story, when I heard it, the first time it was, I didn't think much of it. I just, this is another Hollywood thing. But man, oh man, now that they release this stuff right here, now that they release this kind of stuff, dude, this man lost his mind long time ago. He lost his mind long time ago in a galaxy far away. Like I don't know what the girl was thinking when she got with this guy. I don't know what she was thinking. This man is crazy. Hours of body camera footage shed new light in the arrest of TV star in the Valley. Last July, Goodyear police arrest Bryce Gray, best known for his role as Hakeem Lyon in the hit series Empire, on a slew of aggravated assault, kidnapping charges, and for allegedly beating his wife. This man done had aggravated assault, kidnapping charges, beating his woman. Like, I mean, this dude was. Listen, when you see him, but I'm hyping it up to the video. This man is on some wild ish stuff, and there's nothing worse than when you're with somebody and they actually believe like they're not they're not faking the funk. What you see is them being. See, there's nothing worse than the person that you're with in the relationship genuinely believes that their moral compass is not wrong. That, listen, you might hang that up and count that done. That, yo, whoever you thought you was with, you did not get with the true them. Now they're going to start showing their ass. And see, everybody likes to ignore the clues. I kid you not. Everybody always likes to ignore the clues to these types of things. Yo, I'm telling y'all on God, you can't ignore these type of clues, B. Like when the signs are there, the signs are there. They're there for a reason. You got to just take it for what it is and say, yo, like, I just have to step back. A lot of y'all people so desperate just to have somebody in your bedroom, you will turn a blind eye to all the signs. And I'll be like, yo, bro, it ain't worth it. It's not. It really ain't. Hang on. So let me see if I can get it to play. All right. We're trying to figure out the situation. You need to help us. Verify what you're telling us.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. Up first tonight, we're following
that's
news
different.
in the arrest of Bashir.
Hold on, that's different. They holding me. They holding me. Okay, this is the full interview. Hang on. My God. I put out the wrong video. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry about that. That's his full interview. Right here, I'm looking at that's his full interview. Jesus Christ. What am I doing? I got to get my life right. Here we go. Let's get it up here. All right, let me get through it. Let me get through this commercial. I do apologize about that, but I hope y'all guys enjoying it. Y'all know how I am. Sometimes even I mess up on stuff, but I can't show commercials. All right, there we go. All right, let me go ahead and fix that. Let me go ahead and fix that for y'all. This is wild. I listen. This guy right here, he deserves an Academy Award for just being able to do this. If he gets it, then my God, then I see why he got his role on Empire. Man, he never dropped character. All right, so let's go.
We're trying to figure out the situation. You need to help us. Verify that you're telling the truth.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. Up first tonight, we're following breaking news in the arrest of Brashear Gray, one of the stars of the hit show Empire. Tonight, we're seeing hours of new video from his July arrest that ended with his wife flagging down police and telling them the actor had assaulted her for hours inside their Goodyear home. The bizarre jailhouse interview lasting for 2 hours as they try to piece together a chaotic chain of events.
Team 12's Michael Doudna brings us the late-breaking details from the celebrity's high-profile arrest right here in the Valley.
That man looked crazy.
A TV star.
God dang, they had to go get him like that? God dang.
He assaulted his wife. I have a career, I'm an artist. I have a lot of things to lose. Brashear Gray is known from his role as Hakeem on the hit show Empire. Now, for the first time, we see Gray defending himself in his own words. It's like, this is my t-shirt, but that's not my crime, The alleged crime, brutal. Gray's wife calling 911 after escaping him at a Goodyear QT, claiming Gray punched her hundreds of times, strangled her, and threatened her with a knife. But Gray claims to police it wasn't him, but some guy named Mark. I guess they got into an argument or whatever. I was at my friend's house playing football. But Gray's wife says she knows exactly why Gray claimed Mark carried out the crime.
He just says his name is Mark. That's like his own fake name.
In what is a bizarre 2-hour interview with police, the actor constantly changes his story. I don't live in that regular world space.
I don't live in that regular world space. Oh, this man ain't even part of this world.
Presence outside of his Goodyear home in a phone call at a friend's house until police told them that they could track cell phones. It's a cheap phone, so I didn't take that with me to John's house. But, which phone did you take? I hide this phone under the mailbox.
Why you gotta hide a phone? You rich.
While police were outside of his front door and Gray claims he was at a friend's house, security camera video shows him wandering around, jumping fences in his neighborhood.
The freak?
My neighbors on my
this ninja doing World of Warcraft stuff at nighttime. What the hell?
Basic questions like who his friend was or how he learned what happened. All while starting to get heated with investigators. Listen, hold on. Just listen for a moment. Just listen.
He never said what phone it was.
Okay, just listen. Now Gray is facing a slew of aggravated assaults.
This man in his drawers got paint on his face. Like, I can't. This man in his drawers got paint on his face. Like, I don't know how you help that type of man.
The woman killed in this situation,
I don't know how you help that type of man. You listen. Listen, there is no level of drugs. Well, probably that whatever he got is good. Like y'all listen. That man, did y'all not see him wearing paint on his face and jumping over fences and stuff and doing all that crazy shit, flipping around like he a ninja at night. Like, I don't know what y'all be choosing at nighttime. What's going on, Persian Prepper? Like, that man was in his drawers running around the street fighting ninjas and shit, and talking in the third person about spirits. Like, you listen, bro. And literally this man is talking like third person about a figure that he don't even know exists. Like, I don't even know how you combat that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this man done got caught for kidnapping. He done been caught for a beating people. The man didn't even know that cell phones, and that blows my mind. Like, he need help. He need help. That's all we can do for that man. Like, they gonna have whatever he do. Like, maybe he been hanging out around with Jesse too doggone long, because there's that. And see, that's the problem with that's another problem we got. We'll get with people, and we'll know that they're mentally messed up, and some people will stay with them because they see it as, well, he ain't doing it to me right now, but it's only so long before he or she. But believe me, I've dated some girls that I know. I knew they weren't in their right mind. I knew that. Them females will tell me, listen, I'm a whole demon. You don't want this pussy. And I'll be like, nah, I do. I want all that energy. And they're like, all right. I'm just letting you know. I'm going to fuck you up. And I'll be like, girl, what you talking about? Like, you ain't going to fuck me up. You ain't going to fuck up shit. And sure enough, boom. Now all of a sudden, I'm out there looking crazy. And you know what? It was what it was. I should have paid attention to the signs. That's the thing about it for a lot of us. We think that when people be telling us these things, that they're not in their right mind. Crazy don't always have to hide who they are. The crazies don't always have to hide who they are, because people don't take things for what they are. They try to rationalize it. They'll try to rationalize the logic of this type of behavior. They will. I'm so serious. Like, they will try to doggone admonish and say, well, maybe they'll probably get their shit together. I've been there plenty of times. This is why a lot of us be having children and doggone relationships that be so jacked up, because you be trying to save that cycle, female or man, and they listen, man. They listen, man. Whatever they going through, they ain't trying to be saved. They're not trying to be saved, dog. Like, they are already at peace with their fuckery. And a lot of people try to make sense of that shit. They do. And sometimes you got to just call it for what it is and just say, like, yo, man, like this person ain't trying to fuck with you. They're not trying to get help. They're not trying to go get healing. Listen, you got two chances. When I say let's go to therapy session, if you ain't trying to go, bye. And I don't care if we married or not. And I've done, listen, I got to protect me. I have to protect me. I will call CPS and say, all right, come take the kids. Don't worry, I'll get y'all. One of us is still sane. I'll go through the classes. I'll get you back. But I promise you, you will not be dragging me down. You won't get me killed. You won't be like beating yourself in the face and I come home, you bloodied up and you calling the police and I got to like try to figure out. But listen, I'm telling you right now, boy, in the mind of some of these crazy relationships, these toxic love, listen, I get it. They brag about it on radio, on TV shows, and all this stuff about toxic love is so appealing. That it's not. It's not. It's not. I don't. This is why I'll be trying to look. Y'all be getting fooled. Don't let this stuff fool you up on Valentine's Day. That toxic love is in. It is. It has never been in. It has never been in. Now we about to do this next story. You know what I'm saying? We about to do this next story. You know, about this one. Don't worry, I'm gonna drop the link. You know, but I'm just trying to show y'all this next story. Like I said, y'all know me. I don't stick on just race. Y'all just. It's not just generalized down to one color or one race. You know what I'm saying? These people need help. Now, let me go ahead and show this next one. Let me show this next one. This next one had me hurt really bad because we always tell people to get out of these relationships. And listen, sometimes people don't make it out in time, y'all. People don't really always make it out in time to this relationship. This was so sad. You know what I'm saying? But let me show the next one. You know what I'm saying? I don't do all that. Listen, get out while you can. Get out. All right, we got this next one about to pop off. Let's get it popping.
The woman killed in this situation, Brittany Marty,
she's pretty.
was a
Miss
mother
Divine.
of two, a 10-month-old baby boy and a 10-year-old daughter.
Go ahead, baby.
T12's Colleen Sikora spoke with her family.
Why you got a mask on? You outside. Take that dang mask off.
Their biggest thing today is they wanted to see Maze caught, but understandably, they are heartbroken over Brittany's death. Gathering together friends and family, keeping Brittany Marty's memory close.
Full of life. She was outspoken. She was fun to be around. She told it how it is.
Family says the 30-year-old had always wanted to be a mom.
She always told me, she's like, someday I'm going to have 6 kids, and that's going to be my job. I'm going to be a mom, and I'm going to be a great mom. And
oh, so she wanted to be a stay-at-home mom.
They say her 2 kids, Abel and Prudence, were everything to her.
Their mom literally fought for them to the death.
Brittany's life was taken after she grabbed onto the handle of her van as Eric Mays, her 10-month-old son's father, drove away with him inside. She later died at the hospital. Family says Mays and Brittany had an on-again, off-again relationship, and they encouraged her to leave.
She couldn't let go of trying to help people, and I think that was the problem. She tried to help him, and she couldn't.
She was just days away from starting over in a new apartment. They'll tell her kids of her memory, her strength, dedication, and self-sacrifice.
She loves him with all her heart. And she did her best to fight for her children.
Now, I did have a chance to speak with Brittany's sister, Trish, just a few minutes ago, and she says she's so grateful to the community for calling in tips and for police capturing Mays. She says now she is focused on seeing justice for her sister, Brittany. We're live in Peoria. Colleen Sikora, 12 News.
All right, Colleen, thank you for that.
I want y'all to understand this, yo. That literally, that y'all see it, but everybody always like to say it's just it goes on in one community. No, it does not. Like y'all see that it goes on. It's all around. It's not just specific to a race. Y'all need to pay attention. Here you got it with this woman. You know what I'm saying? She was in a relationship on and off with this dude, knowing that the dude was crazy, and everybody was saying, you need to get out, get out, get out, get out, get out, get out. And you know what? She was like, no, I'm trying to save this man. I could probably heal him. Something about him will change. And she probably was getting her behind kicked up and down the stairs for it. So everybody's saying that, and all y'all women saying y'all go to a goddamn another race. That ain't no true. It's relationship is a relationship. Straight up. This woman, she lost 2. She now, mind you, and I much respect to her because she died trying to save her child. She died trying to save her child. That woman held on to a moving van and got dragged. I remember that because we got the Amber Alert on my phone while I was doing the show that a child had been kidnapped. That man took that baby for a while. So don't let it just don't. There's not such no such thing as just single mothers or just in one race. That's stupid. But literally, she did fight to actually try to save her child and died. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, sometimes listen, y'all. You know, I always hear this nonsense of hey, stay together. You know what I'm saying? That's the father that killed his child's mother because he couldn't have the woman. He took it out on the he I guess he had to take it to that extreme. Listen, man, sometimes you got to learn to let people just go. You got to call it for what it is and say, you know what, you got it, man. Same thing for a lot of you brothers, man. Once you start hearing that woman start saying some crazy stuff and start talking all kind of reckless and it's around the child, call the police. I'll tell you right now, don't try to be no macho. Call the police ASAP. Record her and call the police. Do not try to fix. I don't listen. I'm not Jesus. I don't fix people. That's not my job. This ain't Lifetime. This ain't Dr. Quinn. This ain't no medicine time, a Little House on the Prairie. Bump that. I'm taking you. You going to jail. You going to therapy. I'm not trying to heal you. This is not no. Listen, I done been there where we doggone fight and fuss and break dishes, go in there and have sex on that mattress and try to get over it. No. No. Ain't no love in the world. Ain't no tax money or stimulus check worth my life. No. I'm going to let you go. You got this. You got all the smoke. You got it. In the blood of Jesus, Krishna, Kala, whatever you pray to, you got it. You know what sometimes the fear is? Some of us are afraid of how people are going to look at us because we walked away. Who cares? At the end of the day, you get to walk away with your life, B. Ain't no amount of money you can put on that. You get to walk away with your life. I'm always hearing this thing where, you know what I'm saying, that, you know what? Guess what? Just make it work. Pray about it. Give it to, no, I'm not. I'm tired of always, and listen, I used to be like that. I used to always tell myself, yeah, I'm just stick it out. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to just make it, I'm going to just, you know, I'll just going to make it work. No, I'm not. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that no more. I used to tell myself that I'm going to try to just, you know, make it work. I'm going to try to absolve this person. I'm going to try to love them through it. No, I'm not doing that anymore. And that happens to a lot of people. Jay, go turn off your camera, baby. There you go. A lot of people try to do that stuff, and they either end up dead, broke, mentally harmed, thrown under the bus. Like I said, and to be fair, Bryshaw, he got money. So whoever keeps telling y'all, well, if the person got money, you know, they're gonna be the absolute best for you. That ain't true. Y'all don't think people with money don't abuse people? Shoot.
I believe he got into some fuck shit before. I said that in the comments, but I don't know if you saw it. But I believe he got into some funky shit before.
This is his
not
second
with
time.
Domestic or something else.
The first time, I think it was with something else. This time, this is the domestic thing, and at first they didn't know how to put it. But you, like I said, and I'm about to re-show y'all the thing. This man is literally talking in the third person and throughout his whole thing.
Yeah, I'm
And a
sure
lot,
he is on the
right.
finest of coke and bath salts because, and first of all, and I think Doug said it in the comments, like, why wouldn't he have lawyered up from the beginning? He has money for a lawyer.
Listen, sometimes you know what? You know the thing about it is, I'm willing to put on it. They most likely are going to put this. They're going to put this man in a mental place. They're going. They. That's the first.
Yeah.
That's, and see, here's the thing about it.
To
You
be
know,
honest, he sounds like, and now see, that's the difference though. I'm gonna be honest with you. He seems like he's just off his rocker versus just abusive. I'm not sticking up for him,
right.
but obviously there's something deeper going on.
And see, here's the thing about it, y'all. Because I know, listen, I'm not saying that people that are bipolar or have certain stuff. We're not saying that they cannot have love. There are people who have bipolar, ADHD, or different things. Yes, you can find love. We're not saying that you can't do that here on BMT. However, it is up to you. First off, I have a thing called you got 90 days probation. 90 days probation. You better tell me that you, Jay, have bipolar. How bad is it? Is it severe? So that way I can be like, okay, hey babe, did you take your medicine? Well, why are you worried about me? Whoa, 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 whoa. You the
Yeah,
one
but
that got
sometimes that stuff doesn't present itself until later on. You know that.
okay, so guess what then? All right. So if we're gonna say it like that, that if it don't present itself, and welcome Jose, welcome everybody that's come on to chat, like the video, share the video. Like I said, we're going over that. Okay, so let's say if it don't present itself. Listen, y'all, we have to look at the clues. I'm sorry. People will present things at certain times. You got to pay attention. Me and Jay get an argument. Maybe I might get touchy. Maybe I might grab her.
I'm
Well,
gonna be
it's too.
honest. I missed a few red flags with my, and I know I've talked about it before. When I was in an abusive relationship, I missed a couple red flags. Like I said, the whole "all my exes are crazy" bit.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody tells you all their exes are crazy, run. There's no way that all your exes are crazy. All of them? All of them? I mean, people break up for different reasons. He cheated. Oh, we were going two different directions. But if you tell me that all your exes are crazy,
yeah, I'm gonna take that as
run.
there's something wrong with you. I'm gonna say there's something wrong with you.
And that was one red flag, and it was the same thing. Like, we had gotten to an argument over like nothing. So, and I use the point, and I'm using that point because a lot of people think, oh, you should have known that person was abusive. No, sometimes it don't present itself for a year. You already knee deep in it. So as far as the financial aspect is concerned, so I mean, in a lot of these cases, there's also something called financial abuse.
Right.
Where yeah, so that's a whole different story. So I'm not saying that's the story with him. We just speaking on in general. But financial abuse is something where, like, that other person can't work. You don't allow that other person to work or make their own money, or you calculate in every penny they spend, and not because it's the household. Like, if you telling me, Joe, oh, I see you went to the store and spent $21. What did you buy? Where's the receipt? I need to see the receipt. Okay, but I was gonna spend my own money, and then when I get paid, you take my whole paycheck to leave me no money. So if I have no money, I can't leave you.
It is a real thing. It is a real thing, and when we put this out here, like I said, you see this man out here. I mean, listen, man, this man, look at him. This man got peyote or whatever paint on his face. This man looking crazy as hell, like going out there with in his drawers or t-shirt, doing some ninja stuff. Listen, they didn't send just one cop after him. No, they sent a whole doggone team. But this man, he's not in his right mind. Sometimes I know a lot of y'all get angry when people call the police. Listen, call the police. You know what? Leave it up to. Listen, I learned this now. When somebody says, Joe, so and so act up, did you call the police before you call me? I am not insured if something go down, but if I come there, listen. you're not gonna bite me. You're not gonna spit on me. You're not gonna do crazy stuff. You're not gonna swing no blade at me. If I come there, I'm putting you down. If you calling me, I'm the ultimate put you down. So you might want to call the police first. I believe that's their job. Call
Also, a
them and
lot of
call.
abusers will a lot of abusers will go for broken women.
Now let's go
That's the
ahead and
thing
look at.
too, or
Let's
men,
go.
depending on the person. So
So we're looking at this right here. He's definitely on. We got peyote or wherever on his face. He going in there half naked and draws and stuff. Now, with all this going on, they did not know how to deal with this. Listen, a lot of people like to pretend that something about them can control this type of person. You can't control crazy. I know y'all see you see all these men. Y'all see all these men that had to go get that one dude, that one little dude. You can't control crazy. Y'all women need to stop believing that something about y'all between y'all leg is the holy grail to control that psycho. It don't work. It ain't been working since the biblical days. It ain't working now. Like you
so
can't. What?
Joe, can I ask you a question then?
Go ahead.
Excuse me, sorry. So when you were dealing with your crazy chicks, what was your reasoning why?
I was broken. I was broken. So I went to broken people because that's what I was attracted to. Because it was more easy for me to cover it up. Like they were more focused on their issues, and it was easy for me to prey on. Like mentally off people go for broken people because we can easily covertly blend in. Because after a while they start coping and depending on us. And so long as we can keep controlling that type of energy or dynamic, because we function better in chaos. Does that make any sense? Like we can't function in normality. I can't. Right? If you're normal, I have to go on the attack.
That makes perfect sense.
You can see me because I'm not in my normal scope. But if I'm with a fucked up person, I'm functioning well. We got to be drunk, high. We got to be out there fighting out there in the parking lot and everything and crying and screaming, and I'm throwing you right back in the house and stuff. Oh man, like I was in heaven, Sodom and Gomorrah. After a while, you're like, yo, man, like you looking at your car like, yo, my car is scratched up, window busted out, got a trash bag over it and stuff. And other people are like, yo, like, are you fine with living like this? Are you fine with living like this? I was mentally broken up. I was mentally breaking down. And I had the money, but it was more so easy to deal with dysfunction or prey on dysfunctional women because they couldn't see me for my bullshit. Y'all. I can talk about this shit openly. I don't give a damn. I'm in a good place in my life, so I don't mind talking about this shit. So that way, a lot of y'all men, I know y'all told to go get that dysfunctional, toxic love. Y'all don't know what really is up for y'all. Yeah, y'all. I be hearing y'all stories, and I be like, yo, man, like you need to go get help, go get therapy. Before you start talking about a relationship, you probably need to go get yourself squared away. Therapy is heavenly cake. Like you got to fix yourself. Same thing for a lot of these women. Y'all trying to get these dudes and y'all know y'all are fucked up or dealing with some type of trauma bonding issue. A lot of y'all women do trauma bonding. I noticed that. A lot of y'all do trauma bonding. I noticed that whenever a woman says she needs me to direct or tell her what to do. I'm like, okay, you want me to be daddy? I'll be daddy. But shit, you might not like my discipline. Shit. I'll be the whole devil. So listen. I'm trying to let y'all know.
No, you're right. You're right.
I'm just saying, Jay. Like broken up people go after broken people because they can help. They can trauma bond with them, and they'll feed off of that to the point where you think like I
Yeah.
can't get out. Same thing like that white girl. Same thing like this woman right here. She's like, well, who can I get that's better than this guy? Brasher Gray. He's an accomplished actor. He's a star. You see how he's in there telling the police, do you know who I am? Like I have the money.
Yeah.
I have the status. I have all this shit going for me. You can't tell me shit. And she probably felt like that. She probably felt like, yo.
I'm convinced
like
that's
this-
why Dr. Dre's wife stayed where Dr. Dre's wife probably stayed for as long as she did, probably for the same reasons. Because rumor has it that he was abusive for years.
Oh, everybody knows.
So
everybody knows Dre was abusive as fuck.
we're saying allegedly.
Well,
because we don't wanna get sued.
alleged, yeah,
Yeah, we don't got to
I
pretend
was
that shit.
just about to say, so allegedly heard.
We don't have to pretend that shit. We know Dre is abusive. We don't have to pretend that shit. Let's not pretend that. Everybody knows Dre beats women. Fuck that. I don't say
Allegedly,
shit.
or so
You
we
know,
heard. So
I know
has been stated by others, but we don't have any evidence. So,
oh well, when you got enough money, it can be allegedly.
yeah, you ain't gonna get me murdered by Dre.
Shit, Dre
got enough money to come on. Next thing you know, we'll be on BMT, and it'll be a whole new crew of people.
Listen.
It'll be Jay, but it'll be like some other girl. Like he just replaced all of us.
Fair enough. Dr. Dre, I do enjoy
Right,
your
and they'll
song.
be talking about like the trees and some shit.
Fair enough, Dr. Dre.
They'll have a different brother, a different clever Kev. It'll be some other darker brother. He'll be sitting here talking about, yeah.
Well, hopefully the panel or the crowd is smart enough to figure that we were knocked off or whacked off.
Man, he got so much money, they ain't gonna question it.
So hopefully they'll figure out.
my
But now,
God.
okay, so
But I wanted to say something about what Jay was saying earlier, or
right,
add
go
to it.
go ahead.
Because Jay was talking about how, like, how relationships, people don't realize, it's not like TV. It ain't General Hospital. Life is a slow burn, and a lot of times, by the time you realize, because I think in a lot of relationships, the big problem is that a lot of people are presenting who they want to be to the other person, or the expectation of what they think that other person wants. And then once you've been in the relationship for a year or
The
two,
representative.
yeah, and then you start letting those things slide because you don't show your real habits and true self to people while you're dating because you're afraid they'll reject that or reject this. So it's like for someone like me, I'm not going. We'll have to move in together before you realize that I have all this huge anime collection. You see what I'm saying? That's not that I would intentionally hide it. It's just that it's not something I would openly bring up until it's too late. And then you're asking me, years from now, where's all our money going? And I've got Transformers falling out of the closets.
Now I would want to ask this, Kevin. When is the opportune time to ask these questions about people? Because you know what I'm saying, like Hakeem, you see this man doing Ninja Turtle shit at late of the night, flipping over walls and shit and parkouring and putting peyote. You saw the man, he had cream paste all on his face, and you know what I'm saying, Jay thinks she having sex with one man, she having sex with a demon and four other men in the bed.
Listen,
you know what I'm saying?
So,
and they scream.
I've actually lived through a similar situation. Unfortunately, the police couldn't get called because he used to like to take my phone away. So sometimes it wasn't, and I know I've mentioned before I was in an abusive relationship, but it wasn't always like physical abuse. You know what I'm saying? So like one night I always said it was like the devil had come to visit him when he would drink certain things or when he would drink a certain amount of alcohol. It's like, 2 beers, you're cool, 4 beers, by like that 6th beer, you know what I'm saying? So one night he just got up and started throwing ketchup on the walls and throwing flour. I think I have the photo somewhere deep in the inner chasms of my phone. But yeah, he just started throwing shit around the house, or he would like punch holes in the wall. He wouldn't always hit me, but then it was like no, and then he would just go to sleep.
That man was fighting demons. That man, Listen,
And
y'all.
you could literally see the change to a certain extent. Like after I like processed everything, and yes, Joe you did help me a little bit process some of my feelings, but when we first met, but after like processing it and looking back, I don't know what demons that man got, but he got some demons. And the thing is, but when you listen to his life, I mean, I think part of it is that his mother was somewhat abusive, and I think he just continued the
thing of
family trend.
Right.
Right. And he
Thing
never really went to therapy for that.
No, nobody ever does. Nobody ever does. I get called gay for telling people to go to therapy. Listen, y'all. Like I'm trying to tell y'all, man. Like this person right here. Like I mean, honestly, this man has money. He has status, and literally a lot of that will people overshadow. This is why when y'all be saying these superstars, listen, this man had a lot of stuff going from like this man right here. He had all the stuff. And this man's still breaking into cars and shit. Doggone running around the parking lot.
Now, when they said breaking into cars, were these random cars? I might have missed that part. Were these random cars?
Listen, his mind ain't there.
Or like his own car and the girlfriend's?
Well, here's the thing about it. So let's say you buy a car and I buy a car, but we're together. But I lock my car, right?
Right.
And you break into my car. You still breaking into a car. Whether I can literally, if I report you breaking into our car, I can still call the police on you. Like, yo, this man ain't in his damn right mind. They're gonna be like, what's going on? He breaking into my car.
I see.
Well, remember Tiger Woods in that golf, the golf clubs breaking out the window. Was it his girlfriend that was busting out his windows? I was just trying to drive, made him crash into a tree.
It don't even.
Oh, that was his wife.
Y'all could be in a relationship. You breaking into my car, you still breaking into my damn car.
And you know she
got arrested too.
That was his wife, not his girlfriend.
But she never caught no flack for that domestic violence because that's what that really actually was.
He dropped the charges on her. He dropped.
But then you have to. But you have to.
A lot of people.
But she wasn't the famous one. He was. So
here's the thing about it. A lot of these incidents that happen, a lot of people drop the charges. They drop the charges on these people. Like, look at this man, motherfucker, pulled out a knife on her and shit. And motherfucker doggone doing all kind of crazy stuff. She has seen text messages on his phone and all that stuff. Listen, let me tell y'all right now. If y'all know a motherfucker's crazy, don't try to confront these people. This is the problem with a lot of y'all men and women. Y'all be trying to confront these people, knowing damn well they can snap off at any point. Listen, I'll write you a letter and mail it to you.
But you know what? You get tired though. You do get tired.
You do get tired.
That and sometimes I feel like it comes and goes in like it comes in inches. You see what I'm saying? Like in waves. Like people don't always just reveal that they're batshit crazy all at once. It's a bunch of little things that later on you look back like an M. Night Shyamalan movie and you start putting the clues together. But it's like you know what I mean? Like it's like you start looking at the little things adding up because they might do a crazy.
Exactly what happened with me.
You know, and then years later you add it up. And you go, damn, this person was crazy all along, and I just didn't put two and two together.
I mean, Kev, this dude is in his drawers with white shit all on his face, trying to figure out who the fuck he is.
But this is the big.
How do you argue with somebody like that?
No, but this
man
is
know who he is.
This is what I mean. This is his big moment. But I guarantee, if you go back, there were a lot of little moments that got overlooked until it got to this level of where it's like there are a bunch of little explosions that no one paid attention to, and now he's gone nuclear. And everybody's like, what the hell happened? Well, now it's because you didn't catch any of the earlier signs because we don't know. Now we got to go and look back at stuff, and it'll be like all of a sudden we'll be slapping ourselves in the face like, oh, why didn't we see that?
See, I want to say this. I always, because I can say, yeah, I do have toxic nature. Okay. I would always see just how much shit I can get away with.
But that's anybody, I think. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of us. We all, in our way, try to see what we can get away with.
But see, but here's the thing. Here's how you eat people in. I do one thing, and I normalize it with you, and I do another thing, and the more Jay keeps co-signing into me, she doesn't know that she's actually conforming, and I'm imprinting my behavior onto her. So by the time it actually gets big, she's gonna be like, "Oh, he does this all the time." I shit you not. Women and men say this all the time. Oh, that's what they do. She'll be all right. And you know what's crazy? They'll come right back. They will always come back because they're so used to that type of reactory behavior.
Mindset.
Oh, so him doing ninja shit. That's why when they were like, "Who the hell is Mark?" And she was like, "Oh, that's Mark. That's the other nigga that he swear he is. He a whole nother. This man has a whole nother. Listen, when you can believe that you're a whole nother persona.
Doug said he started really believing he was actually Hakeem.
hey, like he probably did think. Listen, that's why I said, listen, y'all don't understand. Something about the Empire. I think that place is cursed because you got Jussie, and now you got Hakeem. You know, and Taraji. You already see what happened to her ass. Listen, all of them are mentally jacked up.
I was just gonna say Jussie. I was like, man, Jussie
has his demons.
Just got over him.
Jussie has his demons. Hakeem is doing peyote and running around butt naked in his drawers and fighting and stealing and stuff. Like the man got a cheap.
Terrence too though. Terrence Howard. Terrence messed up so bad. He could have been in the MCU, but he bowed out of the first Iron Man, talking about this superhero bullshit ain't no real thing. And Don Cheadle stepped in, and now
I know he's feeling that shit right now. I know Terrence is feeling that shit every morning. He wakes up and look at that damn poster. He's like, "Fuck! I would have been rich as shit if I would have just gone with goddamn Disney." But you did.
They're all contracted for all of those movies and shows to appear. That's what you call steady work, because you got all this Marvel universe and you can show up on the TV show on Disney Plus. He played Rhodey. He was
been working steadily for the last 20 years.
The thing about it
is he's still been working steady for the last. Terrence Howard been working steady for the last 20-25
but
years.
He ain't billion-dollar Marvel universe steady.
Oh no, absolutely not. But I'm just saying he ain't hurting either.
He's also a teacher. He also has his degree as a teacher, which I don't know why when he got time to go get that, but guess he went to go get that.
He teaches like at the university. He teaches acting or whatever, but. And you say he's been getting work, but you really look at it. He was on Empire, which was a kind of a big show for a moment, but it was a big show on Fox.
Jesse messed it up. Let's just call it what it is. Jesse messed it up.
Yeah, I know, but even then, it was a network TV show. He's moved his way down from film into network TV versus he could have been on network TV in the Marvel shows. Then he could have been on Disney Plus in the Marvel shows. He could have been on Disney. And notice, all of these Disney actors are crossing over into other properties. They're not only in Avengers, they're not only in the Marvel stuff, but they're in the Star Wars stuff too. So in the toy right,
Kev.
What up?
We get it. Also, Brittany was a Disney kid too. And didn't she take a bat and beat out some windows of a car? And
and also
she's trying to get out of.
And she also used
to this day, free Britney.
And she also beat on K-Fed, so she ain't.
Yeah, but she was a
free
Disney,
Britney.
A Disney club kid. I'm talking about money right now. I'm talking about Marvel.
But
Disney wasn't the biggest thing.
But see, here's the thing about it's not about money because he has money, and you see he's crazy. And we see a lot of these.
I'm saying they're all crazy. All these people, everybody on that show is nuts. Anybody that on Empire has come off of Empire is nuts.
Well, here's the thing about it. She already done said, listen, this man, when they were asking who the hell is Mark, last she said out her own doggone mouth, He just says his name is Mark. That's like his little fake name. That means this is not the first time he's been Mark. This man probably says he's Mark multiple times. And see, y'all got to be careful when people be saying things like that, when they be talking about in the third person or stuff like that. Listen, that's when you need to go get an intervention done. Like, listen, babe, we got to go get you some help.
But
Because you
isn't she
can't.
also enabling there too? Because the way she says it is like she's already known it. Like, that's his little fake name. Don't worry about it. So he's clearly used this before.
Okay, but here's the thing about it, and here's the thing about it in a relationship, and we said that literally the longer and longer you stay in around these people, you start to become part of their dysfunction of their toxic world. You know what I'm saying? And you start to actually absolve that and say, well, that's just how they are when they drink. Or as Jay said, well, that's only 1 or 2 beers. So he's not too bad yet. You know, you start to normalize that. So him saying Mark, all the other people be like, what the fuck? Why you wait, you didn't see that? And that's the thing about it, where when people say that, they to them, they deal with that every day. So long as he's playing Mark on the other side of the house, I'm safe. I'm good. There's no problem. So long as she's doggone over there on the phone with her girlfriend screaming and hollering and smashing stuff over there, hey, it ain't bothering me. That is bothering you because you are having to put yourself in a safe zone or space in your home to avoid them. That's not good.
Yep.
Nobody should have to. And I tell you, that's actually a lot of people. Go ahead.
And that's what I used to have to do. So when he would get to a point, honestly, I would make him a sandwich, give him a big jug of water, and tell him to go sit down and watch TV.
See, you
because that was the only way.
Stuff.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, no, you knew what
and
you had
it sucks,
to do.
And you're right. You were, and at that time, I was normalizing this shit. But if I try, and then see, this is the thing, like when people say, oh, why didn't a girl leave or the person leave? Because a lot of times they don't let you, because you leaving will make it worse at that time, especially when they're in that state of mind. So whatever happened, it was probably like, oh, if I leave or if I do that, oh shit, it's going to be so much worse when he gets out, or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? And she probably knew that.
Oh yeah, like I said, the name with Mark, like I said, yeah, a lot of people. That's men and women enable a lot of stuff with women. Well, my chick bad, but your chick is also fucked up. Well, okay, well shit, she got that fire ass mouth, or she got money, or she do this and that. Okay, but you also are getting verbally abused, or sometimes she puts her hands on you. So how are you still winning if all that's going on? You know what I'm saying? And literally, like I said, this has been going on to where some people don't even mind getting boxed up, beat up, choked out. They don't mind, so long in their mind that they're winning. So long as they see, well, I have the materialistic stuff. And sometimes, listen, y'all, I'm gonna tell you right now, on God, sometimes you gotta just tell yourself it's just not worth it. Sometimes you gotta just tell yourself, you know what? I may have to start over from scratch. I may have to go live back with my folks, but you know what? I will still be okay. I live another day. And I'm telling you right now, I've had to do that. I've had to do that where, you know what?
That's why the fuck I'm in Florida now.
But you know what? You found your peace, did you not?
I sure did.
You know what? And I listen sometimes.
You know what?
Sometimes, go ahead.
But every once in a while, and I'm sure this happens to you too, every once in a while I have a flashback. A couple weeks ago, Dante, my boyfriend, he poured cold water. He was playing around, poured cold water on me in the shower, and I grabbed him and scratched the shit out of him because he was like, what the fuck? I was just playing. I gave him this look and cussed him the fuck out. It was like I blacked out. He was like, dude, are you okay? I just was playing around. I realized probably about 20 minutes later that
you could have called me, babe. You could have called me.
He used to do that to me. You know what I'm saying? No, I told him and explained to him what happened. He was like, "Oh my God, I'm sorry." And I'm like, "No, it's not your fault." You know what I'm saying?
It's just
But yeah,
a
so
natural defense
mhm.
now for you. No, and it happens for me. Like I tell people, I will tell you straight up to a lot of people, whatever you do, don't yell at me. When
And
y'all
I've been
go
on
to
the
that
I
level,
shut down. I
receiving
shut
end of
down.
that.
when people yell at me,
I shut down.
I'm telling you for your safety, it's best for you just to go or just leave. A lot of people say, "Oh, you ain't gonna do nothing." Listen, nigga. I know where they'll put me. They'll just put me back up on the crazy floor. I can't promise where you're gonna be. Like,
But with
I
you being in
know.
the military, because even with my boyfriend, like certain movies he can't because he was in the Air Force. So certain movies he can't watch. He gets
Right.
triggered.
You know what I'm saying? Like and it's like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, this man needed help. Definitely he's still trying to figure, like I said, they're most likely they're gonna try to get
But
him on some meds.
there's a common denominator in these crazy
They're probably gonna, yeah.
Justin, even Terrence Howard. And it's a thin line between crazy and super intelligent. But to be an actor, you just have to be missing something to be able to take yourself to a place where you can become another individual. If it's a stretch for you, I don't think Terrence Howard roles are that much of a stretch for him because I think he is that little demon a little bit, but he is super intelligent. But it's a thin line between super intelligent and crazy. We don't know it yet. And I just got a theory about this ADHD. I think just a lot, the super smart ones and super smart people, it's something we haven't discovered yet. But we always see these people who say these odd things, and you just like, that's some crazy shit, and you just keep it moving. And then eventually he been really saying a lot of crazy shit, or she been saying a lot of crazy stuff. And we just kind of, and then when something happens, we do that hindsight 2020, and we be like, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. But most of these people probably got some type of insomnia, which maybe all of us got, and they just aren't able to turn off. And the meds that make them turn off, they don't like them because the turn off. I had this guy, and he was in prison. He was a handsome white guy, but he was so quiet when he came to my peer call line. I ain't gonna say I still don't know his name. I said, why you here? You just you seem so calm. He's like,
But that's how they
I
always
almost
start off.
killed my best friend.
Yep.
And he would take it like, was it 1,600 of lithium or whatever?
Motherfucker fucked up.
But he's like, I never saw a
Mhm.
bad side. He would just come there. He'd be in the line. Some, people at the pier call line be acting a whole fool. But he was just there, like, and after a while, and he was like, I
You
almost
gotta
killed my
watch
best
out. You
friend.
gotta watch out for the quiet ones, the cute quiet ones. Them
Oh,
be the
don't
real
women got to
motherfuckers.
watch out for him because he is a nice looking white man. He got
Right?
that
Yeah.
sport,
Yeah.
and he got a
Just
couple
like
of
Ted
tats. So
Bundy. Just like Ted
they're
Bundy
gonna
was
have
a
to
nice
watch
looking
out
white
for
man.
him. But while he was on his
Yep.
meds,
Ted Bundy
he
has so many
okay.
women.
But most people, they like why you
Oh
chose
yeah, I
that
saw
person.
some old
Most
pictures of.
people are very charismatic, very personable. You don't, they
Yep.
got that used car salesman smile and persona, and we like that. We gravitate to it, especially if you are a more introverted person, because it pulls you out. But it's a thin line, and sometimes we don't see that crazy. Or we call that crazy fun, whatever. But then you like, it's time to turn the fun off, and the fun never get turned out. It's like you have a tolerance for a little bit, and then when it go over that line that that's like, okay, this was fun right under that line of whatever, and then they cross into that, okay, it's not fun, now it's crazy, and then
Now,
sometimes you're already in
now
jail.
one of the things about it is and a lot of people like to overlook and look at the materialistic, or they sound very sweet, they're very charming. Um, like I said, I never had a problem. I always believed in, hey, if you can make a woman laugh, that's a gate. That's the opening, making a woman laugh or getting her comfortable. Um, and I learned how to do that. I learned how to do that. But also, it's called it's no different than a praying mantis. You want to charm the person to bring them in, and once you bring them in and you start uh, manipulating or changing their behaviors or the deviancy, or you start actually blaming them and victimizing them, and whenever they were like, but you did this. No, like, listen, there's this beautiful woman. I mean, she is gorgeous, but her thing about it, she's like, listen, I'm better off by myself. And a lot of fellas will keep on trying to talk to this one woman and keep trying to holler at her. And she's like, yo, y'all don't want to listen. I need to be alone. Listen, sometimes people telling y'all that they need to be alone, you gotta leave that alone. They're telling you that for a reason, because they know when they get around certain people how they get. Like, some people, I know it's fucked up, but some people can't deal with other people, but certain things come out of them. Like I said, woman, I call her the Black Widow. Now, I don't say that to her face, but I call her the Black Widow. Every time some guy tries to take her off the shelf, I promise you, they always end up paying in blood or some type of misfortune. And literally, ain't nothing you can do. You know what happens? Her family usually come picks her up. You know, I've seen dudes done bust bottles at her, done throw her out, done kicked her out, and she just she goes right back to either the clinic or she goes right back to her home. And you know what? Listen, this woman done had 9 kids. You know all her kids are at? Not with her. They're not with her. She's a beautiful woman.
She ain't have her tubes tied?
No, listen. No. They
She
talked
was
about doing
passing
it.
them crazy genes on. That's out of them 9 kids. How many gonna have that crazy gene?
But see, the thing about it is, and I gotta warn a lot of you men, y'all think y'all can conquer that crazy pussy. See, a lot of y'all think something about y'all can conquer that crazy pussy. And when that woman tell you her true nature, some of the, oh, don't worry about that, baby. I got that. All right, get ready for the wild ride. And I'm telling you, Lord knows, like I said, I done seen Black Widow. She done bit off the bottom of a man's lip. She done bit off the bottom of a man's lip and walked down the street barefoot, half naked. And when I saw her, you know, you think my big black ass went outside? I said, hello, Ted. Yeah, go ahead and get the stretcher. Yep, she's out again. She's walking down there bare. Everybody in the town knows her, but sometimes some people think that their penis can conquer craziness. Something
but
about
women
that.
Do the same, women do the same thing with men. Oh, my pussy, you know, whatever.
Yep. Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes.
Thing.
Let's stop. That is a very bad misfortune. All they need is a good woman. All they need is a good man. You can heal them. Something about you, you know, I can turn them around. You ain't Jesus, nigga. You ain't. Stop. That's what get y'all killed. Or we be seeing y'all on 6 o'clock news or see y'all in the manosphere or some shit. Because y'all motherfuckers be trying to save these crazy people. They not trying to be saved.
One thing, I'll go back to the you hit the Justice Smollett, the Brashear Gray, and then you got Taraji. You know she's coming, and Terrence Harris talk about his mental health stuff a little bit, but then you have the Taraji P who just came out with her little thing about depression, and people are saying she said I think she felt suicide. People say, oh, she just doing that for attention to make the money, but that's a circle. Now the only ones you really haven't heard of were the light-skinned guy Andre and the woman he married. Andre, who played in
Empire, he ain't no damn light skin. That man brown like me.
Well, he ain't my
he ain't that dark.
He ain't no damn light skin.
I'm brown. He ain't my brown.
He's like my complexion, maybe.
He cream color. He cream. Kevin's goddamn
you
brown.
Red, but you not yellow.
You black nigga.
He red. I call him a red bone. He ain't high yellow. You know, he in between the brown and the high yellow.
What the hell? He ain't no damn red bone. Don't give him that, man.
I'm saying he in between. No, you got your people who light skin.
Oh my God,
and then you got your Whitley Gilbert.
Let me go see this.
You know, he ain't in the you know, you still he ain't been mixed in the first generation. Like, you know, somebody was light skinned, then they had a baby with 2 black dark skinned people, but they ain't Lisa Bonet white. But it's something about that square. but you haven't heard anything them because you really haven't heard of him being in the Hollywood sector that much. And that other one, I wouldn't say like in the limelight like Taraji, what you call it, but it's something about that square or rectangle that's got that stuff. And I don't know if when they get in there, it's
Yeah,
they
it
get
could be.
less controls and
He ain't no.
learns. They have the money to have less restrictions on their stuff because they don't have to suffer the consequences because their money. But you haven't heard of the craziness between the other two yet. I just was
They
wondering about that.
well listen. They all listen. Everybody listen. I believe everybody after COVID has something going on mentally with them.
I literally said that earlier today to
I
somebody.
believe.
I
I
said we all
believe.
have crazy now.
I believe if it wasn't then before, it is now. And I don't overlook nobody anymore. I don't overlook nobody. This is why when I be seeing y'all motherfuckers run up on YouTube and shit and start rambling on and saying all kind of shit. Listen, man, I take 2 steps back and say, nope. I just unsubscribe. I'd be like, nope, this brother, I don't give a fuck. Like this is why I am so happy. I am out now. I am out of the black algorithm. I am so shout
I
out to
heard some stuff that
shout
make
out
me say,
shout out to BMT. We are out of the black algorithm. Yes. we ain't never coming back. I am so happy now when I see white channels pop up on my feed. I'm like, God damn it, we did it. Fuck that.
Hold on,
I don't
BMT.
know what the fuck with y'all.
How you got a panel full of niggas talking about you out of the black algorithm?
I'm not.
Come
You
on,
talking about,
man.
you talking about I do? You talking about I do? I don't have a panel full of niggas. We did. We done. We been out. Me and Jay. Literally, we have more white people that come over now. Jose. We just had Patriot 1%ers. Yeah, we got all kind of people. We don't hang with them. We don't do that. And we don't do that nigga stuff no more. That stuff is done, dead, gone,
Oh my
out.
god, not that nigga stuff.
What?
Oh
My
my
fault.
goodness,
I don't mean to
Sorry,
use the.
no,
I
that's
don't
your
mean to use
lifestyle.
nigga as
I don't
derogatory.
care. I don't care. Don't care.
Hold up. When did I get excised from the?
Kev, listen. The day these fools start talking about CW and the climate change of climate, then you probably will be inducted in. You're out just like me. So shut up.
Damn.
So it is what it is. Like I said, that's why I pulled up the resume of that girl who had died trying to save her baby. Everybody thinks it's toxic relationships is just a black thing. That is stupid. It is not a black thing. It's just a relationship thing. Like a lot of these relationships, a lot of these bad relationships, they get very toxic. Like I said, I had the Amber Alert when that doggone woman had her child being kidnapped by her baby daddy. I got there.
if you go to well, we have the Florida Department of Law Enforcement. They have a website where they do their stats and stuff. And when you go out to do the thing about murder or what's the other one? Manslaughter. And you go for women, and because they'll say if they have the perpetrator, who the perpetrator was, and you go to doing out them stats, most men are killed by other men. You got a few women who kill men, but the majority of them, I say probably more than 95% men kill men. But when you go to the women, you was like, oh, it's women arguing, women to be killing women. The majority of the women killed or manslaughter or homicide are by men. So this thing, women, I don't know where they at. We had the man who in Florida went in and shot his mother-in-law, his father-in-law, and the twin kids, and left the wife alive. And I don't know if she was alive because she survived the gunshot, but the majority of the time, women are murdered. It is in the context of some type of relationship, whether it's a marriage or the people not married. But that's the most dangerous thing for women. Hell, if out of natural death, for murders, it's by men.
The thing about it that that I point at always is that one that a lot of people are trying to steer, or they want so badly to be in a relationship, but at the cost of their own sanity or their own life. This is why I'm talking about this, because we know there's going to be a lot of people talking about getting relationships or making it work or do what it do or whatever kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Or all this level up. But a lot of these talks and these channels are always talking about relationship and sex. And that's predominantly what all these conversations are about. Um, but honestly, a lot of them can't get or grasp that or actually attain that. And you got to ask them like, where are you at in life? Like, if you're coming to YouTube to learn about relationships, then you are fucked. You're already you like I'm just saying, I would never come here. There's nothing here. Uh,
If I had
if
to
you
go to YouTube to learn about relationships, yeah, I would probably be an anorexic crying in the basement, wondering why no man wants me.
oh, it's like that now. Um, you know, like I said, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. You know what I'm saying?
And
Um,
in my time, BMT, most relationships aren't built off sex. I mean, you know, sex makes it better, but you're gonna have to spend time with that person. Like a relationship is more than sex. So yeah, some people are too sex-minded when it comes to relationship instead of just spending quality time with somebody you adore. You know what I'm saying? So people have the wrong mindset about relationships, in my opinion. This
no,
is
no,
my opinion.
But
no.
it's
That
hard to get that combo because I say men they'll have the one they want to have sex with, which is not the one who they enjoy talking to. It's hard to find that combination when you have the person you want to have sex with and you actually enjoy talking to her. And they'll have that one relationship and that'll be them, but they'll get their other stuff, their other needs met through other situations, whether it be friends. Like I see people who be a couple all the time. I'm like, they don't go nowhere together. Every time she go out, she got to go out with her friends, his friends. What kind of relationship is that? Because they hardly ever go out with each other because they settle for certain things, and it's hard to find that combination where you actually enjoy the person. Or sometimes
Mm-hmm.
one person don't encompass everything you need. Like what girl gonna like anime and
a
all these
lot,
other things that Kev's gonna
A
be
lot of them.
super
a lot of
sexual.
them,
Well, I'm not saying
a
I'm saying,
lot.
but to
Kev,
live in
there's
the
hope
house.
for you, Kev. There's hope for you.
I'm not saying they don't
Yeah,
like cause
yo.
my stepdaughter likes anime. I, I hate it. Her and her dad like
That's
it.
you.
I'm not saying that's not what I'm saying. But how
See
you
your
gonna
ass
get?
out of it.
That's not what I'm saying. They had an anime. I just tell them put your earbuds on because I don't want to hear it. But how is it gonna find that combination of the super sexy girl, super extroverted girl that likes anime? That's what it's just hard to get
See,
everything in one package. So you
now,
will
right
have
there. But see, Koja, look what you did right there. The super sexy girl. Listen, looks are subjective to whatever the person wants. That's the thing about it. Like,
Exactly.
I
Mm.
when I was looking when I'm looking at my woman, I'm not like, gee, I wonder if this is a woman that everybody on YouTube is gonna like. I don't give a fuck what y'all like. I never gave a shit what y'all like. Only thing I care about is what I like, and that's where people are killing themselves over, and they stay in these bad relationships or these fucked up analogies or whatever they trying to push on people about their narrative, because you're trying to fit the analogy of social media versus the analogy of what a brother books from Moses, a Kev, a Gene,
Yeah,
Koja,
it don't
BMT.
matter what Yumi's body looks like. It's whatever is programmed in her mind.
Kev, go fuck yourself.
Yeah,
Now,
Man, when I get
now,
married, man, I just want to be an old
going to
fart.
fuck
When
Yumi.
I get married, I just want to be an old fart and sit on my porch with somebody I adore. That's all I want. You know
well,
what I'm saying? As long as I can sit on the porch with somebody I adore, that's all I want. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm looking
Moses, I'm
forward to
telling
out of
you,
marriage.
they're doing amazing things with Alexa these days.
no.
That technology is the
Well,
future.
guess what? A lot of y'all men are going to get. A lot of
Look,
y'all men are
man,
going to get. A lot of y'all
this
men are
to
going
do
to get.
with behind the sex dollars. Hell no, man. I
Well, a
don't
lot
want
of
no
y'all men are
behind the
going to get
woman. I
replaced
want a
with that
real
damn.
woman.
Like I said, a lot of y'all are going to get replaced with that damn. What's that? Michael B. Jordan, fucking voice sexual thing. The women done got that damn thing. Listen, women can come off of a goddamn voice. So y'all motherfuckers, goddamn, I don't know. Alexa done one up y'all with the
I don't
goddamn.
believe that. BLT.
All
I
right,
don't
all right,
believe a
all right, all right.
vibrator with Michael B. Jordan voice gonna take my place. Now, maybe I'm just speaking highly
Okay.
of myself, but
Well,
goddamn it, I got something to offer. Shit.
They can
No.
have him. They can have him. I could
All
be
right.
joined.
Hey.
I can have my Gabriella Union.
All
I can
right.
have my.
Don't cry yourself to sleep.
I can have my Michelle Yeoh.
Hmm.
I can.
Dwayne Wade he need his beer. He's not giving her up.
Now, I want you to understand. Now, this woman right here, like I said, she wanted to be a mom that had kids and everything, X, Y, and Z. Now, in doing all of that, she got into a relationship with a guy that was, I guess, abusive. Now, the father of one of her kids, pretty much, I guess they were on and off. And again, I try to tell y'all, this is what me and Jay were talking about the controlling aspect of the relationship, where people will try to control. Well, if you leave, where are you going to go with the kids? See, that's why that's where it gets a lot of hard and very sticky, especially when it comes to kids, because sometimes people think about, well, if I go, where me and my kids going to stay? Where are we going to do? What's going to happen? And sometimes you gotta crawl. There are prevention hotlines and stuff. This is why I don't have no smoke when some
the
people.
Ronald McDonald House, isn't it? Isn't that what the Ronald McDonald House is for? Is for.
There's not a lot. Listen, there's not a lot of. I know people like to believe that there's somehow open women houses or shelter. Listen, them places fill up fast as fuck. I know. I've been to a lot. I've been to a few of them, and they fill up really quick. And you have a certain amount of time every day that you have to clock in or you have to register to be in there. And so and God,
they
if you have
motel rooms.
No, they ain't gonna give you no motel room. Who gonna give you a hotel room?
No, I'm saying like when the mother choose to leave and she don't got no financial support or anywhere to go, you really can't go to the Ronald McDonald House. Like you said, they fill up fast. So most of the times you struggling up $20 to pay that a night for your motel room when you're there with your children. Like that's the harsh reality of the situation we're talking
for Moses, let me know that hotel that is $20. Please let me know that hotel that's $20. I will send so many people there right now. I need to find them right now. If there are $20 hotels still out there, y'all please send me them right now. I would love to find out where these places are at. Literally, I have not heard of it. No, maybe an $80 hotel room a night, but $20, that's back in the day type of stuff right there. Like, y'all, that's crazy.
Make sure you got a tetanus shot. Make sure you down for whatever, and $20. Yeah, I mean, let's just tell the truth.
Okay. So here we got it with this woman, her and her kids. They pretty much she tried to stay on and off with a man. Now this is the guy. We'll call him Brad. Pretty much he stole his baby. He stole the baby. Listen, I gotta let a lot of you fellas understand, because I hear a lot of y'all get on my channel and say that's my kid. I can just take him whenever. No, you can't. Jay, am I off what I'm saying on this one? But a lot of people believe that that's my kid. I can just take them. You can't just take them. That's kidnapping. It's kidnapping. You can't just do that. If you're not supposed to have them at that time, you're not supposed to have them. You can't just take a fucking kid. Like if they're supposed to be somewhere, and you're saying, "Well,"
I think a lot of my homies done did that shit, and shouts out to my homies. But they always say, if I'm on this birth certificate, that's my fucking. I can do what the fuck I want to do. Now, if you ain't on that child's birth certificate, it's different. But if you're on the birth certificate,
you are going to jail. You are going to jail real quick. You cannot just go take no damn.
I don't got no fucking kids, but they say if you're on the birth certificate, you pretty much, the police can't say you kidnapping your own fucking child.
That is kidnapping. That is kidnapping.
To be honest,
most of these niggas don't sign the birth certificate though. I'm sorry for interrupting. My fault.
That doesn't give you legal paternity. Even a DNA test or even being put on child support does not give you legal paternity. You have to go, depending on your state law, go in and ask to be the biological dad, but it doesn't give you all of the rights when a child is born out of wedlock. So there's a distinction. But to be honest, a lot of police don't even understand the law, because I had a co-worker, and her and child father broke up, and he would pop up at the daycare and pick up the child. He wouldn't tell her, and it wasn't that he wanted to keep the child, he wanted to get back at her. And it gets to be this scary thing. And when she called the police said, "Oh, he the father." And I had to pull up the statute, and I screenshot it, and I gave it to her, and I told her. And he says, I said, "This is a child born out of wedlock. The mother has sole custody." And the police talking about they must have changed the law. I say it's always been the law, but a lot of them don't know. But there are situations that are not that. I just personally, and I'll share a little bit. My daughter was supposed to be returned to me at the meeting place where it was like halfway. It was like 2.5 hours from where we met halfway. Now, the father was in Panama City, Florida, which was a 7-hour trip. When I called the judge, they call every time y'all leaving to go to the meet spot, call before you leave. No answer, no answer, no answer. I get there. He tells me, "Oh, I'm in Panama City, Florida. My car broke down." And when you slow it down and you think about it, your car would have had to have been broken down since like 7 or 8 that morning. You hadn't called me. You didn't tell me. So what happened was, um, I ended up going to his house because I didn't believe him, because it makes no sense. Your car tore up and you didn't never call me. You 8 hours away from the place. The police wouldn't refuse to get involved. They said I didn't have my court document on me. Now I used to physically carry my court document on me, but after that, I have it in my phone now, so I can pull it up. But it took 2 days to get my child back. I had to call in to work the next day because it was like a Sunday when we were supposed to pick him up. I had to call in to work. Now I'm missing time off my job, and I got 3 other kids to feed. And I had to call in the day after that. I had to have the sheriff. Finally, the sheriff in Palm Beach County was sitting at my desk, and he came to my school, and he heard that I was on speakerphone, and he heard the man talking to me. His voice changed from Jekyll and Hyde when he didn't know that police was listening to whatever. I had to send at this time a fax to that department. I said, if my child disappears from this country or kidnapped, it's not going to be nothing that you say or can do, because I've been trying to get y'all to assist me to get my child back in such and such. I had to fax the documents. Come to find out, it was the judge was going to do an illegal modification of custody. His wife still had her notary license, and people don't know this. There's a form to get a passport that says the other person signed it, but it just has to be notarized, the other parent. You can get a passport. I forget the name of the form.
It was gonna hit
And
the
my
Tootsie
child was
Roll
going to
on
be gone out of this country. So people don't really understand the law and all the dynamics that go behind it. When I tell you that was in July, I think of 2013, I haven't heard from that man since then, other than the little $476 he paid per month. Sometimes he pay about 9 months out the year, but it's supposed to be 1,100. So when people be saying this, they say women are being vindictive and this and that. This child he loved so much, he was only in her life 8 months. I haven't heard from him since then, and that was in 2013. I think it was June 2013 or June 2012. So when people say this stuff, people don't be seeing the other stuff behind the danger, because those charismatic faces, they don't see in public till if something like this happens. And then when people say, "Oh, I thought that bitch was crazy when she was saying it," because most people don't beat or disrespect or talk to the other person that bad in front of other people. It's behind the closed doors, and then people say, "Oh, she being this, she being that, she being this," without really viewing the whole story. And I just wanted to share that.
Like I said, no, thank you for that. Like I said, this was a guy that literally took he took his child without the mother's permission, and literally she was fighting to get her child back. Again, anybody that's trying to say, and just, I ain't telling books from Moses to tell it to his friends, but literally, if it's not your time or your turn to have the kid, I don't give a fuck if you're on a birth certificate or not. You can't take the kid. Like, you don't know what's going on. You don't know what's happening. You don't know if what happened if their car break down and they say, "Well, you gotta just come get the kid." No, motherfucker. If you hadn't taken the kid from the get go, they wouldn't be in this predicament. Now we got now. No, I'm not saying you're doing it, but this happens. This happens a lot.
Them know
No,
know that.
no, but understand this: if that person, if that person so happens were to call the police and say, "Yo, they're taking the child. If me and Culture had a baby, and I'm supposed to get the baby on the weekends, but I come and take that child on a Thursday or Friday, but I'm supposed to put. But they tell you exactly the marked time when you're supposed to get the kid. Actually, hell, if you are literally an unfit parent and you're supposed to have supervision, and you got that child without supervision, your ass can go to jail. Like go to jail about that. Like, and so again, some people try to work it out what the parent do for the child.
Hey, I can tell.
You don't need to do that. Stop. Y'all need to stop trying to work things
I
out.
can tell
Some
people it's a
can't do that.
simple answer.
Huh? What'd you say, Moses?
I can tell people it's a simple way to work all this out. Put on a condom, but get on birth control. Like I don't have these problems, but my homies feel this way. I will tell them, "Hey, bro, your black ass can go to jail. Like you just can't use that birth certificate shit. Like I might get my homies information,
work.
but at the end of the day, they might not fucking listen to me, man. Like,
no, they don't have to listen. They don't have to listen. But I'm just saying that sets up the precedent of literally their asses getting hemmed up or taken to jail. But literally,
if they were not married, I'm gonna say it again. That is not legal. A man has no rights, and you have to look up your state statute because it's in a lot of states. If a child born out of wedlock, the mother has sole custody of all children, even signing the birth certificate. And you can just Google it. They have to go into court, and when you go into court and you ask for that, literally when you're saying you want time sharing and stuff, that is that portion of it. If they never go into court, they legally have no legal authority. The mother has sole custody. And that's a lot of
now, Koja, I know I just know y'all off YouTube, but if I was to tell one of my friends, one of my friends told me that your black ass might go to jail thinking you know the law and you really don't know it. You know what a nigga might look at me and say? Shit, I don't give a fuck about that. Like I can tell people shit, but if you take this, I tell people, man, put on a fucking condom, birth control plan, beat pills. You don't have to worry about shit like this. Ride that crazy ride. Hey, shit. Ride that ride.
Let them. I let motherfuckers feel. I let when motherfuckers like to tell or say, well, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. Fine. I don't care. Because then if your ass gets hemmed up, but mind you, if your ass gets hemmed up by the law for that shit and you get hemmed up, literally they could just take all your rights to get to see that kid. They'll just take all that shit. It's a no bueno incident. And like I said, the laws are definitely cracking down. After this woman just died, they're going to crack down on these laws more about this stuff.
Address Dollar Washer and who was in the comments.
No.
And he said
no. I'm just gonna go ahead and read it. So if you don't have rights, why should he have to pay? Why should he pay you anything?
I just gave him a free piece of thing that if he wants, the reason we have laws and rules for everything, and I just like you can't just get him to drive a car.
I got it, but I got to get Brother Speak and to say something as well. As I think Trailer just came up. You do have rights. Everybody has rights, but there's also mandates of things you can and you can't do. So if you're not doing what you're supposed to do, then you know what I'm saying that hey. It's just going to play out that way to where you just have to face that recourse of the law. So, yeah, you do have rights. You always do. They never were revoked from you. Go ahead, Brother Speak. Is he there? No? Okay. Brother Speak, are you there? I'll just drop him down if he ain't saying nothing.
Fix this.
Okay. Trailer, go ahead.
Hey, can y'all hear me now?
Okay, yeah, I can hear you now. We're talking about toxic relationships. We're talking about toxic relationships.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. We're talking about toxic relationship and manipulation of people. Go ahead, man. I don't think he can hear us.
Can't hear you now.
All right, go ahead, Trevor.
What's up, guys?
What's up?
I just wanted to hop on here because I was listening to the tail end of this, and I just wanted to let basically all the men know that what Coach just said is 100% fact. You need to understand this. Unless you're married, when you have that child, you have zero, nil, none, not a single fucking right to that child at all whatsoever, whether it be right, whether it be wrong. That's the law. You try and take that kid, your ass is going to go to jail. Don't listen to people that try and tell you that you can just go get your kid whenever you want, because you can't. It doesn't matter if you sign the birth certificate. It doesn't matter if you sign a affidavit saying that you will be financially responsible for them, any of that shit. If you aren't married, you have no rights at all whatsoever until you go to court and there is a court order that has been issued giving you rights to your child. So if you want to save yourself a lot of hassle, like I said, whether it be right, whether it be wrong, listen to these women that are having these kids and they're on this panel, because they're telling you the truth straight up. And they're actually trying to save you from.
You want to save yourself a lot of hassle, go get you a pack of condoms. If worst comes to worst, go get you a Plan B pill. Now, if you really want to save yourself a lot of fucking hassle.
Well, you want to save yourself a real lot of hassle, save the sex till you get married and you're with someone that you actually want to be with.
Get an Android.
Well, you can do that too.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Now, one of the things about it, like I said, this woman literally, like I said, she tried to go get her kid back. You already see this guy right here, Brashear Gray, his crazy, goofy behind. He did the most. Hang on, I'm gonna just come right back down there to that. So, a lot of people need to understand, man. You got to be more smart about these types of things, because they literally can bring you to ruin or get you harmed. Toxic relationship, I understand. Yeah, that's my kid. Ain't no woman gonna run me away from my kid. I get you with that. I want y'all to be safe. I don't want y'all to end up in prison or say, well, I'm gonna stick it out. I'm gonna stick it out and try to make it work. Like, that's not always the case. Like, sometimes hold on. Sometimes you gotta understand the elements of the room and say, you know what? If I stay, that will hurt my chances of me having a life with my child. Go ahead. What you gotta say?
I was just wanting to dispel another myth that's out there too about this whole thing where when kids reach a certain age, they have the right to decide. That's not always the case in all states. Some states may still have that law. The majority of states, no, that's not the case. So you can't even count on that shit either.
I just want to put a scenario out there. I watch this reality TV, and a lot of guys may disagree with it. The father was saying they were supposed to get the kids get them 2 weeks, and then the mother get them 2 weeks.
No reality TV show culture. No.
I'm just giving a scenario. They were working it out among themselves. He was supposed to get them 2 weeks, and she was supposed to get them. He didn't do the 2 weeks because they came up with an agreement to where she gets some 3 weeks and he gets some 2 weeks. And he's complaining, I need a nanny. I can't get the kids' hair done. I can't do this.
Is that a TV
but
show?
Then he asks for full custody. And that's the stuff that's the illogical. If you can't keep them for 2 weeks at a time, which they wanted to do the joint thing, don't go to court, stay out of it. And he upped it till he wants full custody. But you can't handle them for 2 weeks.
Well, it's because he wants money from her so she can help him pay the expenses of the nanny.
And that was a situation that was perfectly logical. You get them 2 weeks, I get them 2 weeks, and we're gonna be boom. But he couldn't even handle that. So I'm trying to see what's the logic in asking for him full time.
But a lot of brothers don't even get that option though. Like if he got that option and fucked that up, he just a poop put.
I'm not trying to listen. I'm not doing a child support video today. I'm not doing a child support video today. I do not care about y'all fucking child support.
I didn't bring it up.
I know y'all. I know when y'all hit the C word, something about y'all just rings y'all ears. No, this is toxic relationship.
Yeah, dude, I am
not your baby mama.
A lot of the fighting and the other stuff, a lot of this play is a part of equation. A lot of it is, and not to put the money in it, but a lot of that is part of the equation of the control and other stuff. And I'm gonna take the CS word out, but a lot of that plays into it.
A lot, but here's the thing about it. Here's the big issue
Folks
that
get
a
in
lot
their feelings
a
about
lot of
that
people
word. That's why.
a lot of people listen. A lot of people don't properly deal or actually get the copacetic help that they need in dealing with people. They don't. They don't get the proper help. They overlook stuff. Again, this girl named Brittany tried to stick it out with a person who had toxic behavior. She's dead. She lost two kids. She tried for years on to try to make it work. Child support ain't gonna mean nothing because she's dead and literally doesn't even matter. Hell, let's be honest. Most people don't even pay child support in their relationships, even when they're separate. I know a lot of people think that everybody's on child support. Really, they're not. Really, they're not. I gotta dispel the myth. Really, everybody's not on child support. That's a really nasty myth that every time when people separate, that people get on child support. They don't. Like I said, some people don't even pay it because they don't even file or they don't even know who the person is that they can get the file. So the whimsical belief or dream that somehow I can get this person, that I could somehow get this person to be accountable. Listen, no, it's just sometimes some people realize, you know what? If I put this person on child support, that means they're gonna have access to me. If I don't put them on child support and I just say, you know what, fuck it, I'll deal with it on my own. Or you know what, if you want to help, help. If you don't, don't. I've been told that plenty of times by women. Like, listen, I'm not gonna put you on child support, but I'm definitely whatever I do from here on. I don't want to hear bull jack shit squat nothing. Like, don't say nothing about me or my baby. Like, just leave us the fuck alone. And so that's how it is for some people. Like they're like, yo, like, okay, like if nothing ain't happening, just leave it be. You know what I'm saying? And it's like that.
Personally, I don't think anybody should stay in toxic relationships, though, at all whatsoever. I think it's detrimental not only to your health, but it affects your kids in ways that you don't see until later on down in life. And then on top of that, statistically, what a lot of people don't know is there's a man and woman in a toxic relationship. Most generally, a lot of men end up getting murdered, get put in the grave over that shit.
Yeah, that does happen a lot.
Know about that, but I like I said, I do the FDLE statistics. I haven't gone in a couple of years because I haven't been doing advocacy lately. But the one thing, and people say this, that man popped up at that woman's house. I say people don't even really realize you're seeing someone unraveling before your eyes. You're calling it reality TV, and we don't had a couple of reality TV stars who have murdered people. But I was like, we're seeing the unraveling, and people are taking it as a joke. I say he didn't pop up at that woman's house to talk about, oh, I want my kids. That is an intimidation tactic to say, hey, I can pop up on you when I want to. I'm having discussions, and when people don't see the escalation of certain things, I say, you see, we have the privilege of seeing a person unravel to look at these signs. That is a very red flag, what he did.
Well, the thing about it is, but see, now I agree with you, man.
We could break it down and analyze it, because I actually read some of the comments and people laugh it off. I was like, this is no laughing matter. He's showing her, I have access to you at all time. You're out here playing in your yard, and right now, because these cameras are rolling, I'm just being at a certain level. But I was like, when the cameras disappear and he popping up, there's not gonna be people in the background to stop the argument that ensues in between that and stuff. And people say, I say it's a little bit of real in reality TV, but that's just one of the things I want to say about the danger that we see, that people act like they don't see when we see these situations.
We kind of touched on that on the beginning of the show when we were saying that, and I think you might even said it in the comments when we were saying, like, was it John Wayne Gacy and Manson and the rest, and a bunch of them, that they're very personable, people. And to be honest, even the same with my ex, the abusive one, like, if you met, do you know how many people, when I had finally came out and said that this man was doing this to me, how many people was like, no, not Aaron, no, he's this, he's that, because he was such a nice guy, especially when he was sober. he was an awesome. And I always said I loved sober Aaron. Drunk Aaron was a different conversation. So it's the same thing. They make themselves personable to everybody around them. So it makes the gaslighting part. So it
Yeah,
makes the other
have a lot
person
of
look like they're crazy.
they
What
tend to have a
happened
lot of
was
charisma.
said he wanted to see his kids, but the convo ended up being about who she was screwing. And that's the stuff that people don't get. Now, if she say, don't come to my house no more,
Gaslighting.
meet me at the McDonald's, it's going to be a problem. But it wasn't about the kids. That was the crack to get in the door. It was about, let me see who was at your house and let me let you know I got the right to pop up to your house because your kids are there. Now, if she turn around and say, I want to order protection, I don't want him around my house, I want to meet him in a public place, she's going to be perceived as the bitch. But it is very well a safety factor. As a woman, it is very unnerving to me for somebody to pop up in my place like that, especially when it starts off about this and I got this big person raising their voice. And once you're raising the voice and stuff and coming towards me isn't enough, what is going to be the next level? When I say, of escalation. But people won't see that. They'll see she's being a bitch. She don't want him around his children. He got the right to be there because this is children. You have the right
Now,
to come
I definitely want to put it out there. Listen, I don't want y'all to think like only the men can do this, but I've dealt with plenty of women that have shown
I
up to
agree.
jobs, that have been on social media. Lord, I swear the social media
I mean, we
trolls.
said that at the beginning of the show. We were talking about both
right.
people.
So
I feel like there's some people in the comments that are kind of in their feelings, but I mean, we talking about both sexes.
It could always go left any old type of way, and the thing about it is we always try to encourage people to get away from that type of energy or that type of behavior, because these people, again, I function very well in chaos. I function very well in chaos. And so long as if you were trying to get away from me, that was a problem.
Well, wait a minute, BT, because I'm late to the party. But is that a red flag of a toxic relationship? Somebody who's overly demanding? Because we really talking about toxic relationships and the red flags you should look out for. So if somebody's screaming in your face and they're over demanding, is that somebody you should steer clear from because that might be a toxic situation? My fault for interrupting.
Well, yeah. I mean, that is a red flag. Like I said, toxic people look for broken people. Broken
Facts.
people cope and meld very intimately onto toxic people. And people are like, nah, that's not true. Why would anybody broken look for another broken person? Because it's easier to kill off the feeling judgmental or feeling judged. Because if I'm fucked up and you're fucked up, then who can really judge us? We're two fucked up people.
Well, not only that, it's easier to manipulate somebody who's already broken too, and in a sense, try and turn them into the person you want them to be.
Right, I agree. These are correspondent behavior patterns that are used every day on people, every day, men and women alike. You know what I'm saying? Men saying, I want this type of woman, but they don't understand the energy that's coming with that type of woman. They understand her mindset. Then you'll hear where some women saying, I want this type of man. I want to level up. But then again, you're getting that type of man who has the money, but the devious behavior and the drunkenness of power and control is definitely there. Whereas you are not his mate, you're more so of his bitch, or
Property.
you're his understudy, and it gets very bad because of how people get dragged or treated, or sometimes they even get killed. Some people. I met this one woman. She said she never had sex with her mate. I said, you never had sex, but y'all got kids. She said, oh, they're all rape. They're all rape. They're all reminders of me being raped.
What?
So I said, so wait, let me understand this. And she said, yes, that's correct. And mind you, she was a soldier. She said every other night her husband would rape her. every other night. Same now, and so that was how he would get off, was by raping her. Same thing will go crossed over with a man. He said that his woman was very, very toxic with fighting and abuse. You know what I'm saying? And I said, well, why did you stay with her? And he would say, well, I didn't think that, I was worthy of another person. That's what she told me. So in his mind, he believed that that's as good as it was going to get for him, was being with that type of woman.
I was with a woman for 8 years that was abusively toxic. I mean, I ended up having to have surgery on one of my arms because she tried to hit me upside the head with an iron skillet, and I blocked it with my arm, and it fucked my elbow up. And I was with her for 8 years, dealt with it for a long time. Not only was she abusive and toxic, but she also had a bad habit of, the only time she wanted to be around was when she was unemployed. And then as soon as she would get a job, she'd go out and she'd start sleeping around with someone else. The reason why I was with her, though, and tried to work it out and make things work for her as long as I did, is because I had a young daughter with her at the time, and I didn't want to watch another child grow up in pictures. And there's a lot of women out there that are toxic that use that very thing against, dads as a weapon, knowing that they have already experienced seeing children that they might have with someone else grow up in pictures or miss out on parts of their life, and use that as a weapon against men to keep them around, even though they're toxic.
Yeah. And add to that, a lot of people, when men do try to ask for help and say that this woman is toxic, usually they get laughed at and shunned. So
absolutely.
And so, even with that whole situation with the getting the kids and all that, that really depends on the judge and the police officer that are working that day. I think people try to say, well, you can go get your kids whenever you want. No, like you said, there's a law. And then even then it depends on that judge and that police officer at that day.
Right. And even though there may be a court order that, specifies what days you get your kids and this, that, and the other, even if the mother of the children violates that court order and she doesn't get put in jail or doesn't get punished for it, don't think that judge ain't going to turn around and throw your ass in jail for violating that court order.
My fault. People need to be more comfortable with being by themselves, because as a human being, we want sociable contact with other people. And sometimes that sociable contact may be toxic. So sometimes instead of being around somebody that's toxic, you might need to be positive all by your damn self. Now that's hard because you want to be with other people, but get a dog, get a turtle, get a fish tank or something. You don't have to be with somebody that's whooping your ass and making your life miserable just to, feel like you're a human, And sometimes when we're using harsh language like we're using on this panel, I like to emphasize to people, bro, look at yourself in the fucking mirror. Are you okay with that person? You don't need nobody fucking else but that person in the mirror. But sometimes as human beings, we might try to seek other, shit from other people. Just look in the fucking mirror, be the best person you can be, and start your fucking day. If more people did that, we wouldn't have toxic relationships and shit like that. But that's just my two cents.
To piggyback off what you just said, I tell a lot of young men and women that it looks that might be having problems with relationships, that the first thing that they need to do is exactly what you said. You need to actually spend some time being able to be happy with yourself. You need to learn how to be happy with yourself, accept yourself, and love yourself. Because if you can't be happy with yourself, accept yourself and love yourself, then you're never going to be happy with someone else, accept someone else, or be able to love someone else properly.
Yeah, but that's because we've cultivated a society where people don't believe they can be by themselves. Where if you're a person who stays alone, you get labeled or you get monitored. You know what I mean? Like, people look at you weird if you're not. People feel weird if they don't have somebody. They feel they have to be social. There's a time when being an introvert was a derogatory term.
Still is.
Yeah. It still is, because there's a lot of people that older cats my age that say, really, you need to love yourself first. And I'm like, yeah, you really do. You got to love yourself first. I mean, really, the first person you should love and love more than anyone else is yourself.
But what I'm saying is, like, people don't understand that you can love yourself by being by yourself, but other people won't understand why you are by yourself.
No.
Well, we understand why you're by yourself, Clever. I mean, you got your Android.
Well, yeah,
because I remember I was on another panel, and there was a guy in the chat was saying, he don't want to do relationships, have a family with a woman. He's cool with hanging out with a woman, but he rather be by himself. He don't want to deal with the stresses of being in a relationship.
That was
and you had
me, bro. Speak. I think we had that conversation before. I think that was probably me.
No, this was on another panel even before that, and there was the guy who was hosting the panel was calling him weak. Weak. What? You're not a real man. And like I said, I had to go on there and tell him, it's that's nothing weak about being. If you know that you can't handle a relationship, you can't be around a woman 24/7. If you know that, why engage? It's weaker to do something that you have no business doing because you have social expectations or family expectations.
Exactly.
Okay.
They're obligations.
Here's my contention about that. Let me just say this. Let me show you where the issue lies about that. Is that I'm hearing people saying that they don't want to be in a relationship or that they have certain issues going on. But then there'll come the next thing where people will say, well, I think that this group or this gender is trash or this and that. And I'm like, hold up, motherfucker, you're not even in. It's like the person who's not in the dance or who's not on the dance floor, but they're talking all the shit. So why the hell did you go to the dance? Because if you're not doing it, then you need to step back. Like I don't. That's what I
literally
get
YouTube as a whole. That's literally
that's
the
when I get. That's when I get frustrated. Well, these women, hold up. Where the fuck is your woman? Well, these men, where the fuck is your man? If you don't or not participating, you don't get. No. You're gonna have to step back. Well, until these people, hold up. Why are you worrying about these people?
What do you mean these people?
There's a lot of people watching somebody else's relationship and then
I love when y'all talk about. I don't give a shit if I were to get divorced. I don't give a fuck. Like that's my relationship. That's my choice. That does not mean your outcome or Moses. I'm never going to say, well, I got divorced. Moses, young brother, don't get in a relationship. You might regret it. You know what I'm saying? Like this. I watched.
I'm gonna look at you and be like, man, what the hell is this nigga talking about, man?
Like
shit.
I watched that corny shit. Like why am I trying to dictate the next man or woman's goddamn future? You know what I'm saying? Listen, ladies, I did okay. That was your 40-year fuck up. That doesn't mean that's gonna be my future. And this is where I get angry or I get upset when I hear people pushing out their narratives, but then they're not telling the full story of what the fuck actually did happen or why did you entertain that for so long. You know what I'm saying? Never the why. They're just telling you. It's like just always. Well, if you mess with this kind of group with that kind of people, all right, then show me your baby mama. Show me your baby daddy.
I will say this: the younger generation we have this flaw of not taking advice. Now, you could actually give me some good advice by saying, "Hey, Books, I fucked around and jumped off the bridge. Make sure you got a parachute." And I say, well, fuck it, nigga, I can fly. Not taking your advice and shit. So maybe I hate to play the devil's advocate. It's kind of like sometimes you do got to take advice, but sometimes you do got to be bold enough to take that leap. So it's kind of like that gray area, that moral gray area. Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but at the same time, life is full of mistakes I gotta make, and I gotta get over it. So
I would give you. People also have to understand that people don't have to live through the exact same experience to learn from the experience. We are capable of learning and extrapolating through observation.
Right.
So
exactly.
I don't have to have a baby mama that I'm fighting with to understand that is something I want to avoid.
That
Well, and I
my
think a
best.
big spot, I think a
Right.
big spot of contention with relationships too is most people, when they start having issues, most couples, they don't actually sit down and deal with the issue themselves. They end up going outside of their relationship or their marriage and start asking other people and talk about this, that, and the other, and start talking about their problems with other people, which ends up becoming a one-sided issue rather than a two-sided issue that it is,
I
and end
think
up
that's
getting
almost
steered down the
everything.
wrong path.
I think
Well,
we have a culture now where that's everything. Where even from relationships, I think we're all taught that. Well, not we're us, but I think the more modern generations, they feel everything is shared and everything is
But
outside of
some things aren't some things aren't meant to be shared, especially what's inside your home. A
Yeah,
lot of
we
things
just
inside
don't
your
have the
home should be kept
discernment. I mean,
inside your home.
so
well,
I think
it's
social
one thing
media
that
made things that way, where now everybody has an opinion and everybody feels obligated to share that opinion with everybody but the person they need to be talking to.
Yet again, I'm gonna push
quote
back on
unquote.
that by saying, in real life we have trolls.
Like
Just like online, and there are people that are out there that do, their mission in life is to give people shitty advice to ruin
like
their life.
here's the thing about
well,
it. Like there's a guy. Okay, like a guy was telling me about the woes of marriage and everything, right? And as he was telling me that and about how bad relationships are and all kind of shit and women and I guess the statistics of divorce. And I was like, "Have you ever been married?" And he was like, "No, but I've had women offer to marry me." I said, "But you've never been married."
Then
He
don't
was like,
speak.
and I would say, "Then exactly, then don't speak, shut up, because you haven't been there. How can you tell me and you never made it up the fucking mountain?" Like majority of people that make it up the mountain, you're not holistically going to find them like trying to like listen, it is hard.
That would be like me trying to. That'd be
Yeah,
like me
yeah,
trying to speak on the black experience, not being black.
Right. And
but
like
but at the same time, that on the other hand, I've never been to a maximum security prison, but I can discern that it's something that I wouldn't want to do.
no, okay,
well,
here's okay,
That's
that's
kind of
totally,
comparing
that's
apples and oranges,
yeah,
though.
that was totally different because
No, because what you're saying is that that a person can't learn from observation of other people's relationships, which is possible.
But
I can see
how do
other
you
issues
can
in
how
other
can you
marriages
how
from other people, and discern that there are aspects of marriage that may not be for me as a person. That is a
well, I
valid
think,
position to have.
I think it goes when we go back to people going outside their relationships for advice. The issue is not so much going outside for advice because if you don't know anything how to deal with this particular person, you might need to go outside. The problem is they go to the wrong people. They're going to the people that is secretly rooting for your demise.
I'm
You know,
listen,
it's that's where the biggest problem is. You're going to your like a woman going to a homegirl who haven't had a successful relationship ever. Every time
okay.
she meet her, she's there's always problems with her girlfriend's man, but she's going to her for advice.
And if
Or
that's
you
the
going
case,
to a guy.
then why are people going to dating coaches? Because honestly, I'm like, well, if it's a dating coach, listen, the dating is literally only about one to 3 weeks. Dating is after that, you're going into courtship. You're actually going into okay, either we're talking about making this shit. I'm trying to figure out. Well, I'm a dating coach. Then that means you only got 3 weeks of literally and I'm telling you right now, 3 weeks. That's literally that's just the opening phase of a relationship. This is why I'm always amazed when I'm hearing about relationship coaches and everything, or certain type of people and relationships. But I'm like, that's impossible because I'm saying that's impossible because no relationship is the same. How one man runs his home with his woman may not be the same. What me and Koja may do in the bedroom to make her happy, and somebody said, "Well, all you gotta do is tell her shut the fuck up." I can promise you that shit don't work, man. Like it really don't. Like it's like
See,
everybody's relationship is not the same. It amazes me that we talk like that's like saying all men on this panel we're the same. We're not.
yeah,
I don't think
All women are the same. Like
it's
it just
trial
is
and error, but I don't think people get. I don't know if they don't. If it's just something with the times have changed and people don't know how to try, or they never got the chance, or they're not encouraged to. Like in our day, dating was like you said, trial and error. But now everybody's got dating sites and Tinder and swipe right and swipe left.
that shit don't be working.
I don't. Yeah, I don't. But I don't know if they ever get the experience to learn how to deal with dating, because we know they don't know how to deal with rejection in the first place. There's a lot of men out here. I'm not. I hate to say it, but there's a lot of dudes who don't know how to handle getting a no.
no.
You gotta go
And
look at POF streams. They are hilarious. Go look at POF live streams.
I'll be watching a couple of
I
Minister
think
What the
Brothers.
heck? Wait, 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 wait. What is POF live streams?
Oh,
Yeah, I don't know.
it is
they have a
wild.
live stream there.
Yeah, they are wild on that.
I've
Boy,
been watching a couple of Minister Brothers live
Is
streams.
it
And they
like
talk about the
OnlyFans?
code approach is fucked up. Don't do the
Listen,
code approach. But
you know
sometimes
what you know what we need to do? You know what I want to do? I want to do this. I want to do this.
Skill. Like sometimes the code approach method is good, and sometimes when I listen to these Minister Brothers say, "Well, don't just walk up to a woman and say she's beautiful and try to get a number." Like what the fuck, nigga? Like she right there. So I feel what the brother's saying. Like sometimes trial and error is the best thing, but when you got the internet and all this bullshit, it kind of it takes the fun out. It takes the zest out of life.
Well, I think also
If you really want to see, if you really want to see, if you want to see dating coaching, like you want to see these guys, I'm telling you right now, have them go do POF live. That's where you got 3 minutes to say whatever you got to say to a female, and if they ain't feeling it, they will curse you the fuck out, or they will just kick you off their stream. It is amazing the game that I watch people try to shoot at these people, man. It is wild.
Is it like, are your feet tired? You've been running through my mind all day type shit?
Yep. Oh man.
Yeah,
it's like R&B.
Get out of my dreams and get into my car.
That's almost reality TV because it's like speed dating, virtual speed dating online, and
right.
and since everybody else is watching, it's almost like reality TV.
It's
you
so
don't get the personalities that are going to shine out, and people being crazy, and nobody's taking it. I mean, some dudes might be taking it seriously, but the women that are being spat game at, they know that this is views. This is collecting views. So that if you want to go and get your feelings hurt, and then what ends up happening, these dudes go on there, they do get their feelings hurt, and then they end up. Then that's when you start getting incels and all that bullshit because they don't. Like I said, people don't know how to take no more. They don't know how to handle a rejection because they never had to. They're used to. I'm a type of message in someone's DMs and get a yes or a no.
Well, I also think that sorry, but I also think we have a culture now where you have a lot of women who's complaining about being fearful of men walking down the street. Now is that it makes it hard for guys to be saying they want a cold approach because they don't want to be labeled as that creepy weird guy or it's not only just getting shot down, it's getting viciously shot down because that's a lot of females tend to do that.
The summertime coming up. You see some of these women in sundresses. It's like you see a beautiful rose and you don't want to go sniff the flower. Like that's not. It's like, excuse me.
Well, no. I won't go just sniff a woman. Yeah.
Well, get off my face. But at the same time, not all sisters don't say that. Some sister might appreciate, if you got your game together, a fly young man coming up and saying hello.
It doesn't really.
It's kind of.
For some women, it won't even matter.
The cold approach, because sometimes you never know a female unless you go up and actually get to know, like say hello and introduce yourself.
But
Like I don't feel like
at
that's
the same
creepy.
time, we have a
It's
culture right now that's crying about street harassment. That they're talking about they don't feel protected. So you go in a cold approach, and this woman don't like you for whatever reason. Yeah, you liable to get a lot of things happen to you. Yeah,
well,
you
you
might
know,
get
some
officially
brothers code
shut
approach.
down, or you might get arrested.
Well,
So
some brothers are stupid as fuck. Some brothers code approach. Let me slap on the booty and put my arm around it. No,
I
man, just
get that,
let
but
her know
that's
you there.
and
Introduce you. Like, you know, we're not gorillas. Like, you know, you can be a
I get I
decent
get
human
that,
being and introduce
but
yourself to another human being. You know,
I get what you're saying, but this culture is making that to where men don't want to do that, and the only ones that's going to do it is the ones that don't give a fuck. And and those are usually the ones who's doing the most. That's the issue with that's the downside of this talking about street harassment is a bunch of goofballs who's doing the most, but he
out on the
but
fucking.
every man is getting labeled as a guy who could potentially do that. Even if you are the nice dude, if you look like you might be a creeper or something like that, or this woman is having a bad day, guess what? Now she's either viciously shutting you down or she might just call the cops. That's a
I think, and I
you know
hate to play the devil's advocate, but what you saying? You know, BMT played a video a couple of weeks ago, maybe I don't know, like the lady getting attacked in Brooklyn or New York or whatever. Like I guess
Harlem.
this dude tried to holler at her. She said, "Man, get the fuck out of my face." Probably, you know, ain't with that shit, and they beat up and did all that shit. Now, if
right.
he really liked that sister, he would have said, "Hey, how you doing?" She would say, "I don't got time for that," and he would have just went about his way. But some of these weirdos and these goofballs will beat up women and do all this fucked up shit. And it's kind of like, yeah, I don't know what that shit was about, but yeah, I understand not wanting to approach nobody and violate their personal sanctity. But sometimes,
Well,
like I'm saying,
it's
I'm
not
coming up
just violating their personal safety, it's
I
your
might
safety.
just say hello. Like, fuck, I ain't no
Like,
bad guy.
Well, it's like I said though. Some people don't have. It's like they don't know how to take a no. They never learned, or they're not trained right, or they've never been told no the right way. I don't know. So, but it's dangerous. You know, and I feel when Jay talks about that, like women, for them to reject a guy may cost them their life. You know, out here because some dudes just don't seem. You know, like you said, Books. We can go out in the street. Me, I'm not the best looking guy. I'll take my rejections all day long, but I know statistics. The law of averages says if I ask enough people, I'm gonna get a number.
And I think what Brother Speech trying to say is niggas fucking up the game for like brothers like you and me. Like shit, I'm not, you know what I'm saying, Sammy Sosa. I'm not gonna always knock it out the park either. But statistics will say, well, if I'm approaching a woman looking good and feeling good and offering something good, I'm gonna have something good. You know what I'm saying? But what Brother Speaks is trying to say is these brothers out here attacking women. They're here doing the most and being crazy. So it's kind of like they fucking up the cold approach. They throwing salt on the game. And how do we change the tide? How do we say, hey man, like the cold approach is cool. You just
We
gotta
have to.
know how
I
to
mean,
do
we
it.
got to start letting people. It's incumbent upon us men to start. I mean, as much as it sucks saying it, we got to start getting out here and policing other men to a certain extent. Like we saw the community response. Them dudes put together whole groups to hunt them dudes down because we almost got to. We got to, you know, we have to be the vanguard for the, you know, the upcoming bucks to teach them. Look, you know, because otherwise, like you said, like Bro Speak said, they're making a name for us to where we, you know, even if we go out here, you know, put on some nice Axe cologne and got our best gray sweatpants on, you know, we can't even approach nobody no more.
Hey, check this out. You gotta put on a nice polo shirt and put on some Issue Miyake. But I think you telling jokes by saying, you know, whatever. But at the same time, if foul individuals fucking up our game, we gotta put these not just like I hate to say this, not hang them by a tree, but put these brothers in the spotlight. Like these are the brothers that attack women, and these are some of the brothers that'll find these bitch ass niggas and make you pay your fucking due diligence to society. But at the
well,
same
I
time,
also
Did you really just put a disclaimer in the chat, Clev?
Oh, my fault. But in the meantime, the cold approach is still being
I did. Well, I respect Brother Books. I feel what he's saying because he's speaking his truth. But like I to protect the channel, I just got to make sure we put out there the disclaimer that BMT, associated affiliates, and other groups that the opinions expressed on the show about sniffing random women on the street is not something that we suggest, condone, or refer to others. You are responsible if you go out here sniffing somebody and catch a case. That's all I'm saying.
Well, also, I will also say that the reason why some of these dudes are able to do some of these things and don't take no for rejection is because they do the most, and you got women that not only respond positively, some of them encourage it, and some of them will say that, well, that's how they will get the number. And then you got some dudes who will say, well, if you do it that way, that's the way to do it. Some of you guys are not assertive enough, but it comes back to there has to be a balance, and unfortunately, there's no balance. It's like either you I don't know. It's like it's no balance to say, okay, yeah, it's okay to be assertive, but then there's a point where you're taking it too far and you're not studying the woman as well. And so I think there's a lot of things that's going on that's creating this environment that we have right now. And it's like both sides are encouraging this stuff to go on. Now there's people saying, no, I don't want this, and then these dudes are getting angry. But there's about 2, 3 other women who would have accepted it. Maybe it's out of fear. Maybe it's that's just what they used to. That's what they like. That's what attracts them. And that's also messing it up for everybody because now you can't tell which you can't tell anymore. So
it's the popcorn generation. It's the instant gratification age. Like, when a brother get denied, instead of sitting back and sharpening your game, you'll get on Instagram and try to get like 3 more other women. You know what I'm saying? That instant gratification, that not being able to sit back, reflect, and realize what the fuck you doing and what the fuck you trying to achieve. Like, everything is so fast nowadays. My fault, I think he left, but I think I was trying to say popcorn, everything's so fast. You take time to analyze the situation and get the best result out that situation.
Like I said, I've heard plenty of times where people say, well, these women are choosing the bad dudes. Broken people choose that type of analytical behavior. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? People know how to a lion or a lioness always knows how to hunt for their prey. They do. They know what to say. They know what to do. Same thing for a lot of you dudes who get gagged or used or whatever. Why couldn't I would always say, you know what I say now in the back of my head? Well, why didn't you notice that she was a bad female? I always can ask the question can always ask, why didn't you see that they were a bad person? Why how come you couldn't tell? You know what I'm saying? And again, people know how to hunt. When you're doing it long enough, they understand how to hunt for that certain type of person that literally was going to doggone give them the energy that they so desired or that they so wanted.
That's the truth.
And so the thing about it is when you're in it, then it's always easy to Monday night quarterback because you're not that person. You're not there. You're not in that situation. So it's easy to talk to shit because you're not literally in that development of a cage right now. I will always hear that these women are choosing this type of guy or these type of men, they choose these hoes. Well, because you're looking on the outside. You know what I'm saying? You see what's going on.
I think brothers say it's easy to do the most, but it's hard to just look yourself in the mirror and just own up to who you are. Like, my fault for interrupting.
No. And I mean, like I said, he has a pretentious point on staking that claim on that type of notion, because again, like I said, I knew, like, I was fine with getting with mentally fucked up women. I thought that was, hey, that this is it. This is the thing. I like that toxic, dangerous behavior. I did. It was very appealing to me. It's very satire to me. That's why when people be saying, well, why would y'all get with them type of people? Because literally bad is fun. Bad is fun. Fun. And I don't care I don't care about the repercussion, because you know what? That's between me and my maker. That's between me and my maker on whatever I should so choose. And so the same thing would happen with a lot of these people on why they walk into this toxic behavior. And sometimes they have to snap out. Not saying, listen, sometimes they have to learn. I really do feel like that. Some people have to learn. Some people have to feel. Not to say I'm walking around shedding tears or playing Hallmark videos, but a hard head make a soft behind. And sometimes some people, they're not going to leave out of that situation until something in life changes them or drastically actually helps them realize that literally this is not working.
You gotta break something down in order to build it up. You really do.
You know what I'm saying? So like I said, I've been there. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to tell a lot of people, literally, you know what? They'll have to find their way out eventually. They will.
You just hope and pray that they find their way out before Stretcher finds their way out. And I think for me, and I know I told you this, Joe, but for me, I guess it was like, you know, like I think it was like what you said, that trauma bonding, because you know you can get the brakes beat off of you, end up in the hospital, and still want to go back to that person.
Right.
You know, so you just hope that someone has the strength to leave before they get killed. You know what I'm saying? So we don't know what happened with Brashear or whatever, but I hope whatever that woman is going through, I hope she finds the strength to leave him.
No, in the same thing, like I said, and like I said, this happens to women and men. I know men, y'all men be getting with a woman that literally men and other women will tell you, like, don't fuck with her.
One more thing too. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say real quick. I just had to block someone from your channel, first of all. But secondly, that's not really what I want to say. I think the internet has made it way too easy for people. And I think that's why it's hard to deal with rejection. So, like, you know, some of the older people know this. Like, so I'm 42. Back in like the 90s, we didn't have cell phones. We didn't have cell phones and shit like that. You know, you had to go to the mall or go to like your downtown area or whatever, you know, with your, like what Kev said, you know, with your best Axe cologne, I guess. You know what I'm saying? And
go holla. Damn, see, this is why I don't talk to nobody no more. You can't see what I mean? I was being nice in the chat and everything, and already, man.
So you had to go and like go and
well, it is a little weird you dated Android, man. I'm just saying.
So you had to go and like talk, and it doesn't matter if you were black or white, suburb, city, whatever. Like everyone did this. You know what I mean? You had to go
mouthpiece
to like your local mall or whatever, and probably talk to as many women as you could and see how many phone numbers you could get. Like that was part of the game. But
I remember those days too. That was fun.
Or you had to use three-way. You had to get your friend. You had to call on three-way, but you would put your phone on mute and ask her about me. Talk about.
Or you remember the days when your homies would sit there and dare you? I bet you ain't got the balls to go up and try and get her number.
Right. So now I think the internet. I'm just saying all of that to say, I think the internet makes it too easy for people. You know what I mean? Like it makes it too easy. So when they do get rejected in real life, it turns into like, oh, you know, it turns into like anger. Do you know what I mean?
It may be making it too easy, but it's also it's causing them to not actually experience things in life that they should be experiencing so they can handle rejection.
Well, because it's artificial. It's removed. That's what I was saying earlier. Is that if you can just hit slide into these DMs or onto these sites, or you go onto like your Tinder or your OkCupid or whatever, and you're swiping right and left, and somebody doesn't respond back to you, you're not able to, first of all, you don't get to deal with those feelings because you just either move on or it feels removed because there's not a person that was there in an emotion of you know what I mean, for you to deal with. It's a picture and a portrait ad hoc on the internet. So you can respond, and people are brave behind their monitors. We've all seen that shit. So
how many times has Alexa told you no, though?
Oh, Alexa never did.
No, he's getting to something, bro. Don't do that, bro.
I know. I'm just playing with him.
But you know, it's like because I can reprogram Alexa, and that's why that's the easy way.
Yeah, put some gas in the house.
But back in the day, you get the rejections, but you learn to take it. Nothing builds more character than having to, first of all, to get that strength up. You have to get your nuts up, grab your hernia, pull it back up in your stomach, walk over to that girl and say, hey, you know, and then you got to come with it. And you can't, like you said, you don't come out with the lines like, you've been running through my mind, or, you know, did it hurt when you fell from heaven? No, you had to say something that would catch them, an opening line. And then you would but you'd have to get your heart out your chest and say it because you know, nervous, palm sway, doesn't matter. And then to hear like, even the nice rejections. No, I'm already seeing someone, or, you know, no thanks. But then you get the hardcore ones, and then having to turn around and exit that conversation without being like an asshole was the hardest thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you have to say, okay, it was almost like a job interview. You know how when you get up, you're like, well, we'll call you if there's something, and you know you ain't.
Bro, you know what I'm saying? If the wind is blowing, are you gonna fucking fall down? No, man, I'm just gonna put my hood on and try again tomorrow. Like when you said that shit, like, yeah, the cheesy pickup lines, like the youngsters use that shit. But if you really approach a woman, you're looking good, you're smelling good, you got something good to offer, and if you just talk to her in a certain vernacular, wonders can happen. And I feel like that cold approach, even though y'all old school niggas might say that's some 90s shit, that's some blockbuster VHS shit, that shit can still be applicable to today if we just get away from these screens. If what you said, homie, stop being
it can be. It can be.
That's how I got into comedy, is because I learned real quick I didn't have to look like, you know, I didn't have to look like the hottest dude out. I didn't have to be Michael B. Jordan. The thing is, if I could get someone talking to me for more than 2 or 3 minutes, I have charm. And I learned that I could do that. I could make people smile. And when people smile, they get comfortable. And after a few minutes, if she's still talking to me after like 3-4 minutes, I knew my confidence built up because I knew if I hit the 3-minute mark, I'm getting that number. Now we may end up.
Let's play devil's advocate. If you walk up to a woman, she say, man, get the fuck out of my face. You got to sit there, accept that, and you know what? Take your licks. And next day,
you got to take them L's, man.
Yeah,
you know, taking the L's is part of the process, man.
Yeah,
I think taking that L is part of the process of becoming a man and becoming confident.
Because I take those L's and I need to find a way to turn that rejection into a joke on me leaving. If she's like, man, get out of my face, I don't want your fat ass, and I'd be like, woo, well then I guess I'm just gonna go get me some more tacos.
I mean, hell, honestly, dude. Honestly, that's why I learned how to play guitar and shit, because I was so ugly I couldn't pick up a girl unless I could serenade her ass.
Well, that's a lot of musicians. That's the same reason I picked up music too. I think 99% of every musician did it because we all thought that when I'm writing songs like Jamiroquai, those gonna be throwing themselves at me.
Hey man, all I had to go by is we all know Keith Richards is the ugliest man on the planet, but that man still gets tail, and he's a musician. So if it works for him, it works for me.
My ex-husband was a DJ, and sometimes I would go with him. And him being a DJ is not why we split up, just for the record. But
I'm not saying fuck that shit, but when I get denied by a female, I hit that, oh shit, I got a call, and just be on my phone, be like, all right, like I pretend like I got a call instead of being like this, like, you know, that was my little way of getting over it. But at the same time, you know, you can pull out your phone and put the number in, or you can pull out your phone and be like, yeah, I got played. You know, it's some shit. So
unless your phone rings while you pretending to be on it.
But I was gonna say that
we all have to get used to. Embarrassment is
Okay.
a close friend of mine.
Like I said,
And see, but that's the point, man. Is we even though we all have different ways that we went about learning from it, we all took that L, and we went out there and we learned how to find ways to get that win.
And not to interrupt, embarrassment is not just something that'll tear down your character. Embarrassment can also build you up. Like it's two sides to a fucking coin. My fault for interrupting.
No, you're fine. Like I said, I'm probably I'm about to wrap this up, but I'm definitely gonna have it where next. I think another show I'm probably gonna do. What's today? Friday? Is today Friday? I think so.
Yeah,
all day.
Okay.
Oh, look at us, Gene.
So
we're in sync.
I'm probably next week. When is Valentine's Day?
Sunday.
Sunday.
Oh,
I don't even celebrate it, and I know what day it is.
Well, man, I work at night. Shit, this is like to me. This is like 2 a.m.
You're fine.
I can't believe you're not getting Alexa a Valentine's Day card, man.
So
oh my god.
So what we'll do? So what we'll have is pretty much. I plan on doing something like I don't know, like a little. Probably after Valentine's Day, I'm probably gonna talk about learning the power of getting curved. I think that's pretty something that a lot of people do like to dodge or steer away from of getting curved. They're pretty much afraid of that. But there's a lot of good things about
we talking about in real life. My fault. Getting curved. My fault.
So there's a lot of good things about getting curved that actually builds confidence. Men and women get curved every day, B.
Did you just think about that when I brought up trying to talk to someone back in the day?
No, I thought I've already had that. I just sometimes that y'all keep talking. I just say, well, I'll just wait. But however, our minds think alike of these kind of things. So
I know. I mean, I'm just mad that I tried to say the same thing like 5 times and like got interrupted like 5 times. But whatever.
Sometimes you're learning just like I am.
No, I heard you, Jay. I heard.
No, because I never finished my sentence. But go ahead.
I read your mind, Jay.
Lord have mercy, goddamn. So literally, that's pretty much what's coming up. Is literally we're going to be talking about getting curved. Shout out to Trailer and his associate D. They did a show yesterday. I think that was probably one of their highest watched shows. So they did a very good job. We shared it, and we came by and supported it. You know what I'm saying? So other than that, make sure y'all check out Trailer Hood.
Thank you for that, brother.
Not a problem. And also shout out to Books for Moses. You know what I'm saying? Also, I have to get back onto it. I have I'm supposed to be getting ready. Right now I'm in writer's block. We're writing I'm with a few YouTubers. We're writing skits to start up a space show of us in space. I don't know how it's gonna work, but I know.
Can I play a creepy alien?
What?
I don't know how it's gonna work. It's supposed to be with us. There's a lot of stuff I can't talk about, but I do know it's gonna be pretty crazy. It's like Battlestar Galactica when this girl meets world and all kind of shit. I was saying, you know what? Maybe I could call Kev for writer's block, but I'm like, nope, because Kev is gonna have some damn Ally McBeal bullshit. And we have to go.
Did you just say Ally McBeal?
He sure the hell did.
You could have picked any type of sci-fi from Babylon 5 to Farscape.
Firefly was the truth. Shut up.
Firefly was the best sci-fi there was.
They'll never bring it back.
No,
they'll
sir.
never bring it back. They'll never bring it back.
Or Alienation.
The intro to Firefly was cool, but the show was pretty shit.
I did enjoy Farscape, man. I mean, Jon Stewart was fucking all them alien bitches. Like, god damn it. His penis is galactic. So
can I be Jon Stewart in your skit?
We'll work on that. I mean, you'll probably have to be Jon Stewart's son or something like that.
That's all right, man. Just so long as I ain't dripping down no one's leg.
So other than that, you guys, we'll work on. So hopefully we'll figure out something. Probably between alien sex and Yumi or something like that. We'll probably figure out something. What we can do. Who knows? We might even get it where we could probably get Kev to write us a CW show. Probably only last 1 or 2 seasons.
You know what? Y'all joking?
I mean,
it'll
you
be a
can't
cross
do.
between what Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Supernatural, and Smallville.
You know what? Honestly, them dudes from Supernatural, they died so many times. Them Dean brothers, they why did they fucking off themselves? Fucking freaks.
That's why it's called Supernatural.
Bring the WB Frog back. What are you talking about? The CW? What the hell you guys talking about? I'm out of the loop right now.
He's joking. He's joking, but right now, the current spate of the lineup on CW, I honestly believe we could get this panel on there as a show, and it would be just as good. All we'd have to do is just touch up our relationships a bit more, where we fight every other week and switch off partners, and everybody's hurt, and then friends again. That's the kind of bullshit that they put on that channel now. And Joe knows.
So all we got to do is be the first season of Real World.
And then one of us has to be a vampire, and the other one has to be, the mortal enemy of vampires, and one will be a murder person.
I guess for the first season, I'll come out being transgender or some shit. I guess.
No.
Don't they already think you're like trans or gay?
I guess so, but I'll put
I want to be a gender neutral Swamp Thing.
Well,
for fuck's sake.
I mean, you can probably all I gotta do is probably give you some meth and let you just rock and roll, and me be high as fuck or drunk, and we probably damn well do two episodes by ourselves, just making up shit. So
that'll be our show. It'll just be a bunch of YouTubers who take bath salts.
Oh god, that'd probably be a really good show. That'd probably be a really good show. So
I'd watch it.
That, like I said, Books for Moses could probably be the woke person that probably like come out with the ethical shit at the end of the show. What we should probably, just as long as we don't mention Hillary Clinton, then they'll be
reference.
Yeah, and then we'd have Jay in the background scolding us the whole time, telling us we're doing it wrong.
Yeah. So
Probably.
other than that,
Either way,
guys, we'll bring Jay out to help Jay out with some of her stuff. So other than that, you guys,
while we're at it, why don't we just put David on?
Oh God, no, but then you'll just be cursing through the whole show. That'll just be you cursing through the whole show. We'll never get any of our lines out. But other than that, you guys, we'll thank you guys for having us on. Thank you guys for joining us, and hopefully we'll get to see y'all again. Y'all enjoy the weekend. Peace.
God bless.